kick to the gut. I like it.
Oh, it's Monday, and let's call it a supersized Monday, because damn, we have a lot of things to talk about. What's going on? Hey, it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Oh my god, what a way to start the week, bro.
Hey, bro, I don't know if we can finish in 2 hours, let alone 3 hours or 4 hours, because there's show upon show, and then there's post pay-per-view scrums, and my god, okay, this is gonna take a while to unpack, but you know why? This is what we love about pro wrestling, is it not?
Yes, of course, man. We need to barrel through it so much, man. Like, we just today's card alone is like, what, 14, 15 matches, including the 0 hour, right?
Yeah, I mean, but let's face it though, I didn't watch any of the 0 hour stuff lah. I mean, you know, there's only so much wrestling one can watch because, you know, real life, there's this hashtag adulting thing that we have to do. But let me just say hello to everybody in chat. Saleh, what's up, dude? Irvin, Div Royalty, I want to say hello to everybody in the Discord popping off as well as the matches were happening. I was very quiet during Clash at the Castle because I was sleeping like a, you know, a responsible adult. I had to go and sleep, but I watched it the next day.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that was what 1 a.m. on a Sunday morning?
Yeah. Okay. Look, I think there was a time in my life where I would have stayed up for it, no doubt, when I was single. And you know what I'm talking about. When you're single, it's like, screw it lah, Saturday night, just stay up. But now that I'm, you know, married, I have dogs, I have things I need to do, I'm like, okay, I'll just wake up at 8 o'clock like a adult to watch it then.
Bro, if you try to stay awake, right, and like at 1, wouldn't your wife like slap you like, oi, I want to sleep lah?
Actually, to be fair, she probably wouldn't care. I went to sleep because I knew I would be dead tired. I will fall asleep. And why watch something if I know that I'm going to be in a bad shape to watch it in, you know? I'll just fall asleep. It'll be a bad pay-per-view for me because I was tired.
I did the smarter thing, bro.
What's that?
I woke up like right as the main event was about to start and then watched my way backwards.
Actually, you should have just watched the main event and then left it at that. Oh, is that a tease of what's to come?
Okay. I see you, fam. Okay, can't wait to discuss and dive right into Clash at the Castle. But whoa, bro, I don't know whether you had time because right after the end of All Out, I thought I can relax, take a break. Then suddenly my AEW YouTube notification started popping off. The media scrum started going off. Oh, right off the bat. I think we need to address that first and foremost, bro.
Do we have to? I feel like we might be jumping the gun a bit, you know, because we still have the actual pay-per-view to talk about.
Okay,
Saleh says he stayed up for Worlds Collide but slept at 3. Oh. Worlds Collide was at 4 a.m, bro.
Oh, that's even worse than Clash at the... Why is Worlds Collide such a weird time? They did it back in US, right?
Yeah, it's back in US, which means that technically, if they wanted to do a regular pay-per-view timing, it would have been in competition with AEW All Out. So I wonder if they purposely deconflicted. They, not say give chance, but they didn't want to compete with AEW because maybe they realized they would get crushed by AEW. I mean, you know, say what you want. NXT is still the developmental for the WWE. So you can't expect them to go head-to-head with their main pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, as Triple H will say, you beat developmental, so what? According to him lah, so... Yeah, I guess. But the timing leads up. The timing definitely leads up towards All Out. So yeah, maybe that's the reason why.
I wonder if they are like, okay, guys, if we put it head-to-head against All Out, nobody will watch Worlds Collide. So we put it before, and hopefully we wear people out. So they are too tired to watch wrestling. They'll be like, maybe they'll give All Out a miss. I don't know. I don't know what the rationale is. And some of the timing, Chun is the day of All Out, right? Like,
Yeah. Honestly, the moment Worlds Collide ended, straight away the 0 hour was just about to start.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like one after the other. I was like, woo! And obviously, because I wake up at 5 a.m., right? So as I'm brushing my teeth, as I'm getting ready for work, I had Worlds Collide in the background. That's the thing. I wasn't really paying full attention because you know, I had to get ready for work lah.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, right, from what I've heard on the grapevine, right, it was a pretty solid show and felt like old NXT, you know, black and gold kind of vibe. So that was the impression I got.
Because there was a lot of NXT UK, some of the OGs from over there, you know, they had to come over to do this whole thing. And it's sad lah, because the whole NXT UK, even though I didn't really follow it, you know, it always had sort of its own following, B, like, they were really pushing that British strong style, right? It's, you have some of your more high flyers, but a lot of it was like, you know, like wrestling, like people putting on fights performing fights, as opposed to the flippity-floppity bullshit that we saw a lot of this morning. And thankfully, there was not too much of it, I have to say. But once again, I'm jumping the gun on that one.
Yeah, very interestingly that you mentioned that I actually have some UK friends who are wrestling fans, and I asked them, hey, any chance you all heard about NXT UK? And like, oh yeah, they show it on free-to-air TV here as part of BT Sports.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay,
so they actually legitimately promote it like an actual sport in the BT Sports channel.
So, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, and chat, please jump in if you know the correct answer. But why did they decide to scrap NXT UK for NXT Europe? Because obviously their plans are to expand, right? So, instead of scrapping NXT UK, why don't they just put it on hiatus for a while and then, re-debut, just rebrand, as opposed to combining the titles? Is it they just want to make a big hoo-ha?
Well, from all the press conferences I've listened to from Triple H and blah, 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 they kind of want to take a step back so that they can take a step forward.
Okay.
So essentially, he admitted that even before the pandemic, their plan was to really go for NXT Europe as a whole. Like create that brand as a whole. So the NXT UK was like a feeder brand towards the NXT Europe. So remember we heard stories about them wanting to build NXT Japan, NXT Mexico, blah blah blah, all these different feeder systems. Their end goal is apparently to create like a World Cup of sorts for the NXT developmental, and that will fit into the main roster, right? So maybe for them right now they are pulling it back so that they can just debut NXT Europe as a whole in the region as opposed to just one territory of UK.
Yeah, but I mean, my whole point is that NXT UK was already sort of pulling in all the talent from Europe anyway. It was NXT Europe, but just they call it NXT UK. So my problem, not problem, but my question is, and I'm very curious about, why didn't they just change the name?
I think it's a hard restart. I think they just want to completely start afresh.
Yeah.
And some of the people in NXT UK, they have been there for a while. I think they kind of deserve to go to the NXT roster as it is.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe I think that's a plan all along.
And I suppose because now they've been showing up a lot on NXT, the US version. My question also is, I'm sure they've released quite a few people as well from NXT UK, right? So they're back into the independent scene over there.
Yes, and remember how when they first started out, a lot of people in independence were very angry because they kind of took all their talents. So this actually might be news that is that make all the independent circuit there very happy to know that they're taking this step away from the region.
Well, for a while anyway, until they come back big and strong with NXT Europe, and then it's it's a whole thing again. But okay, since we're on the topic of NXT, why don't we start with NXT? Even though it was the second premium live event or second event in this series of 3. We'll start with that. Why not, right?
Yeah, we'll start in the major of least importance first lah.
Oh, alamak, least important. That means we have to do Clash last, is it?
Okay, you really give it away.
No. Let's talk about Worlds Collide then. And this is... See, this premium live event was built very last minute. I don't know if you agree with me, but everything sort of felt like, the week before then they splashed everything out. So I guess this is one of those, and kudos to the WWE NXT production team for being able to put together packages and everything at the last minute. Like they're literally wrapping up an entire legacy, and they made these packages to make it feel super important. The lead up into NXT Worlds Collide, right? You had Ciampa, you had Finn Balor, you had Rhea Ripley, everybody and their mother all showing up, all the previous champions, to be like, hey, you better do good, this one, legacy, that kind of thing.
My question is, so did they take a flight back to Florida for one day on their off day to film those scenes or what?
No lah. This is probably what they did, right? They drove up to Florida before they had to fly up to Wales or whatever it is just to film those scenes, backstage promos. And then, I guess Pete Dunne, aka Butch, he couldn't go down in person, so they had to do a freaking tablet all...
Very smart, very creative way of making use of the availability of everyone. And I think I like the fact that leading up to Worlds Collide, right, suddenly they bring back some of the main roster wrestlers who haven't been given a shine, who actually had a great run in NXT. So I kind of like that aspect as well.
You're talking about Ricochet as well as Nikki ASH and Piper Niven, aka Doudrop, right? Who I wish they would maybe just go back to NXT and reinvigorate their careers there. Because let's face it, yes, Ricochet has been getting a little bit more of a shine on the main roster, but still, and we'll get into it in just a little while, but he still has the same problem he's always had. flashy in the ring, zero character. Just other than looking like Andrew Tate.
Technically, Andrew Tate looked like Ricochet. Ricochet came first.
Fine. If only Ricochet had Andrew Tate's personality, win already. Top heel.
Oh my god, yes, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, Ricochet is great, but I think he's actually been saved to a certain extent, bro.
What do you mean?
If he didn't get signed with WWE, he would end up with all his friends in AEW. He will become the new Rey Fenix and Lucha, jumping all around. At least he's being toned down in the WWE style a bit.
That's true, and I guess that leads us to the very first match of Worlds Collide. First thing I watched early in the morning, like frigging sleep in my eyes, brushing my teeth, taking a shower. I had my iPad over there. Ricochet versus Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams, of course. Okay. It made perfect sense for them to start the night with that. I mean, come on. These two high flyers, you start the night by exciting the crowd, right?
Yes, for sure. And they set the tone straight away for the rest of the show, right?
Absolutely.
That's why I say it felt like an old black and gold, because the opening matches are always bangers.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I've been a fan of like Carmelo Anthony,
Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Hayes, sorry. And Carmelo Anthony, the basketball fella, right?
I was thinking of basketball, yeah. Mellow. I love it, man.
Talking about basketball, they did something cool where they put up the graphic of all the former North American champions and their jerseys. So like retiring them.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. That was such a cool thing, yeah.
That was a cool visual. And then they put up Ricochet's one as well. I mean, the match itself, like what you just said, right? Kudos to, I guess, Daddy H or HBK. You can tell that Ricochet has toned down, but also he's selling more. I mean, versus like, I know there's this one clip of Ricochet versus, Will Ospreay?
Yes.
And they're just going like 10,000 miles per hour, non-stop, flip here, flip there. You compare that to this Ricochet, who's doing, some of the crazy top rope moves, yes. But in between, he's selling the effects. It's not just a car wreck after car wreck after car wreck.
Interestingly enough, I was watching the A&E biography of Rey Mysterio, right? Check them out if you haven't, because it's a really great biography.
Yep.
And Jim Cornette's reaction towards Rey Mysterio was very interesting, bro. Because, of all people that might have a criticism on Rey Mysterio, it might have been Jim Cornette, because his entire MO is just like flipping and flopping, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But what he said, that what worked for Rey Mysterio that made him so special with all these other 5'8", 5'7" wrestlers and all these high flyers is the fact that every move felt like a fight, like a struggle. Even though he was flying and all that, it makes sense in the context of him as an underdog trying to fight from underneath. He needs to do all this crazy stuff to get away from the bigger sized men. Rey Mysterio did it really, really well.
Yes, I am not surprised that Jim Cornette said that. I think there's a misconception that Jim Cornette just hates high flyers and lucha. No, he hates when they do these moves and they don't sell. And they just do move after move after, you know what I mean? That's why he hates, because it's unrealistic.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm not surprised. And plus, number two, he's on a WWE documentary. So even if he said he don't like, they would have censored him. Let's be real here. But, that was the thing about Rey. You cared about him, in his feuds against Eddie, against JBL. You cared about him. Yes, he did the flippy moves. It popped the crowd, but he wasn't doing it 10,000 miles per hour.
Yes, and also the thing is, even though he was small, even though at the beginning he didn't have any sort of personality in WCW, I think he developed a bit of a connection with the audience in WWE, with his entire family and his, relationship with Eddie. So, that is the connection that made us fans of him all the way until now.
Saleh says, Ricochet wouldn't survive in CYN. Bro, nobody survived in CYN.
Bro, he cannot control his own narrative. He don't know how to talk also.
By the way, chat, if you watch Worlds Collide, let us know what you thought of it. Give us a upon 10, a letter grading, whatever you want. Or, I'm assuming a lot of people haven't had time to watch Worlds Collide because, like we mentioned, there's a lot of wrestling in a row. Why did they have to squeeze everything into one weekend? I will not understand, but it is what it is. Okay, I didn't hate the match, but I wasn't falling in love with the match. It was all right. The end. Okay, do you know what happened in the end sequence?
No, I didn't.
So Ricochet does the shooting star press. I think he's phasing out the 720 that he usually does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's been interviewed about it before. Like, did they make you stop doing it? He was like, no, it hurts. It fucking hurts. Duh. Yeah, like he wants to extend, maintain his career a bit. So yeah, and he does the shooting star press very well. So he does the shooting star press. Obviously, Trick Williams got involved a lot during this match.
Yeah.
And Carmelo moves, so he lands on his feet instead of splashing onto the ground.
Mhm.
And then small package.
So
Win.
it's the classic, like you do all this flashy stuff and then suddenly it wins by a classic package move.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like Ricochet reversed the reversal, but he got schoolboy, right? Wouldn't it not have made more sense for Ricochet to splash, like get hurt himself, and then get pinned? I don't know.
I would say that that's a legit detail. Could be questionable. But I think the way you explain it, I think it was very interesting in terms of storytelling perspective that they ended this entire high-flying match with a schoolboy, right?
Yeah, it's like a reversal of a reversal of a reversal. And yes, Trick Williams was involved throughout. So the heels still have the heel heat. Like, they didn't win 100% clean. That sort of a deal, you know?
Yeah. All in all, I love it. Carmelo Anthony, I think he is the MVP in NXT, in the new NXT.
Bro, you said Carmelo Anthony again.
Bro, I said Carmelo, is it? Shit.
You said Carmelo Anthony, bro. It's Carmelo Hayes.
Bro, the reason, bro, I was playing NBA 2K over the weekend.
Oh, no wonder.
Classic teams.
Sila.
Yeah, lucky it's Carmelo Anthony. Not suddenly all the weird other names come. Okay, anyway. So yes, I love Carmelo Hayes. I think he's the MVP in NXT. He should be going up for the title. I think it's about time. Let someone else take the North American Championship from him and carry the title going forward, man.
All right, there you go. Moving on, Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag. I had to drive during this match, so I didn't really pay attention at all. But I do know that Pretty Deadly won.
I heard that somebody turned on somebody.
Oh, yeah. So Damon Kemp is like some new guy in Diamond Mine. Roderick Strong got assaulted in the parking lot. Hey, forget about the hood. Forget about Yishun. The NXT Performance Center parking lot is the most dangerous place in the whole world, bro.
Bro, I've seen so many people get beaten up, getting run over, getting into fights, all in that parking lot, bro. Classic, bro.
You wonder why they don't have policemen and cameras there all the time. But anyway, so somebody beats up Roderick Strong because in the weeks leading up to it, they've been hinting, Roddy is the one sabotaging the Diamond Mine. Actually, no. Twist here, it was... what's this guy's name? Damon Kemp.
Damon Kemp, a.k.a. the younger brother of Gable Stevenson.
Oh, no shit, really?
Yeah. They hire both of them. I forgot what his real name, but they changed it to Damon Kemp.
They don't want them to be brothers, is it?
Yeah, maybe too many Olympic wrestling lookalikes.
I will say that Julius Creed is very impressive in terms of I feel like he gets it. He kind of actually reminds me a bit of Jake Hager, which is a bad thing. But a better Jake Hager.
Okay.
Got more charisma, Jake Hager.
The Creed brothers, they look solid, bro. The other type of wrestlers, right? If JR was in WWE, they were they would love them. He would love them, right?
Okay, they actually kind of remind me of the Steiners in a way. They have that legitimate collegiate background. Julius is the one that can cut promo. Brutus just looks like at the back, just looks mean and angry.
Okay, he's Rick basically.
Yeah, he's Rick. So actually, I really, really like the Creed brothers, and I hope that actually Julius is a better mouthpiece than Roderick Strong. And Roderick Strong's supposed to be the leader.
Oh dear God. Okay, what about Briggs and Jensen? Because for me, for the life of me, I can never differentiate between Creed brothers and Briggs and Jensen, bro.
Oh, okay. Creed brothers look like collegiate wrestlers. Brooks and Jensen looks like a bunch of cowboys. Hilly-billy, but they are new age, so they are like sensitive cowboys. I cannot get behind them. Maybe it's an American thing, like Americans can relate, but I cannot relate to them.
Bro, what's up with all these cowboys becoming anxious millennials recently? Are they okay?
I don't know. Maybe it's a whole vibe over there in the US, right? And Gallus, I don't know too much about Gallus, but they're supposed to be some rough and tough UK team lah.
Didn't Gallus like a evolution of Mustache Mountain, right? There are people from Mustache Mountain, right? I believe.
Okay, it's Mark Coffey, Wolfgang, and Joe Coffey.
Yes, yeah. So we've seen them. They come Singapore before, remember?
Right. Irvin says Jensen is Bull Buchanan's son. Hey, be square.
I heard about this. Okay.
So Jensen is the square root of B squared lah. Is that what it means?
So you telling me Bull Buchanan, he left Big Boss Man, he left the rap game, and then he became a farmer, and he raised cowboys?
I guess.
Okay.
Or maybe Jensen just chose the farming life, yo. I mean the cowboy life, not so much farming. Maybe he's just dealing with horses. Anyway, Pretty Deadly, I kind of felt like one of the UK teams had to win here because let's face it, the rest of the card, right? I didn't expect any of the UK wrestlers to win, and well,
yeah,
it is what it is. So
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Pretty Deadly won here at all. Okay, next up, and I only watched this after All Out. Okay, so after All Out, I freaking took a nap. I woke up and then I watched NXT.
Wow, the dedication, bro. Respect.
I was okay. So the first two matches I watched while I was getting ready for work. The rest I watched while I was eating lunch.
Okay.
So
love to do your timeline there, brother.
I know, right? It's a lot of distractions though. Mandy Rose, Meiko Satomura, and Blair Davenport.
Bro, Mandy Rose is truly a distraction.
Oh
but
my. Okay. Can we say that the rose has really bloomed in so many ways?
Indeed.
Back in NXT, I feel like her going back to NXT is the best thing for her career ever. So if they got one thing right, it's bringing Mandy Rose back to NXT to develop this toxic attraction version.
Bro, she really held her own in this match. I saw highlights of this match.
Yes.
She was doing well.
Yeah, this is not the Mandy Rose that was messing around with Sonya Deville on SmackDown, whatever nonsense it was, right? Like, this was badass Mandy Rose. And then you have Meiko in there, who, is a veteran, right?
Yep.
The only, I wouldn't say issue lah, a small gripe lah. Her face, no expression change.
Meiko?
Meiko, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's supposed to be like a veteran, no sell everything. But
for those who don't know, we talked about it to Greg from Grapple Max, right? Meiko actually helped to train a bit of the Grapple Max people.
That's right.
When they went to Japan, right? So so interestingly, we have that Singapore connection there. I saw a bit of a moveset. She is like, how to say, she is like if Hikaru Shida became a veteran aged by 20 years, right? That's Meiko Satomura.
Yeah. And then you got Blair Davenport as well. I mean, I enjoyed this. Not gonna lie. Irvin says Mandy is the most underrated person in NXT. Yeah. Well, I mean, you wondered whether she could carry a faction, and well, she's done exactly that. I think given the right conditions, she was not in the right position. Oh my god. Under Vince.
Bro. Say what you will about Mandy or what, right?
Yeah.
But this match got a women's wrestling chant over the AEW Fatal 4-Way match. So what does it say about the competitors?
Well, it says that the crowd is a different crowd. But that's, okay, fine. Like, I didn't hate the other one, but I'm jumping the gun here.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. This might have been the best women's wrestling match of the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I just realized, right, is don't you think that Mandy is really following that Trish Stratus trajectory in terms of his career, of her career?
Yes, in a way. Yeah. Even though Liv Morgan is more the Trish, I feel maybe Liv Morgan is pre-training Trish. You know when Trish first started wrestling, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
So Mandy Rose is like the post-heel turn Trish. She's got some matches and then she's worked at her craft already. Yeah,
Mandy Rose currently, this incarnation of her is the one that already turned on Chris Jericho and made up with Christian Cage.
Yes.
She's the evil, bombshell, but who can actually wrestle. Yep. 2004, 2005, Trish. Yeah, that's Mandy Rose right now.
And then the push-up game, very strong, that type.
Push-up? What are you talking about?
Push up.
Yeah. She has pushed up the women's division with her own bare knockers hands. I mean,
bare hands.
Knockout worthy hands.
Right. Look, I enjoyed the hell out of this match. The women here put it all out there, and I think that Mandy Rose did, after all that she's been through, she deserves this win as the unified champion.
So what's the future for Toxic Attraction and Mandy Rose? Do you think they're ready for the main roster? Because honestly, I would love to see them back.
Actually, yes, I do. I do think they're ready. You know, if they stay out of injury issues and stuff like that, lah. And let's face it, the Raw women's division needs a shakeup badly, and we'll get to that in just a bit.
Okay, for sure. Can you see them going after another trio on the main roster? But then they have to be baby faces, right?
Yeah, so maybe not yet, but we'll get to that when it comes out. Div asks, isn't Liv Morgan more like a Lita than a Trish? I wouldn't say so, because Trish was more like an attitude and cool moves. Liv doesn't have cool moves. She's just a pretty face and she's blonde as well, so that makes her more of a Trish.
She's a bit more like, honestly, she's a bit more like Carmella.
Oh my...
Right, she's got that like a tomboyish blonde, like she's more for her looks at this point in time, but I think she's getting there. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I guess those are just comparisons because we have nothing to compare her to. Maybe she's just Liv. Maybe she's one and only. She's a unique individual. Like each one of us are all unique flowers.
You know what Liv Morgan always says?
What? Watch me?
Yeah, I know watch me is the main thing, but remember that time when she fought with who? Come on, bruh.
Oh, bruh. Zelina, Queen Zelina. Come on, bruh. What are you doing, bruh?
Yeah, you're fine, bruh.
Oh my god.
So
okay,
she's come a long way since then. I mean, she has improved a bit, at least, you know.
Okay, we'll get to the improvement in just a little while. Let's move on. Katana, Chance, and Kaden Carter, the party girls, versus Doudrop and Nikki Ash. I kind of zoned out, not gonna lie. My Tom Yum soup was more interesting than this match.
I heard that the Raw girls actually was dominating the champions for.
I wish they won. Honestly, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's their gimmicks, but the whole presentation doesn't work for me.
Drop Nikki Ash superhero gimmick. Drop Doudrop. Give her a Piper Niven. Get us over Nikki Cross back. I tell you, that's a main event caliber star right there.
This match seems like a one-off. It seems like they're just going to go right back to the main roster and do whatever it is they were doing or were planned to be doing. And this was just a match to have the women's titles defended lah.
Yeah, unfortunately, but you know what? Like, it gave them a shine. It gave those two girls something to do over the weekend. You know,
I guess,
if not, they're just staying at home, not doing anything. So,
but the problem, like you said, the problem with this match is a one-off, so no stakes, right?
Yep, no stakes indeed. But again, if there was a down part of the pay-per-view, I would say this one was the one.
Yep. Then we have the main event, Braun Breaker versus Tyler Bate. As much as we want to like hope for Tyler Bate to win, was there ever any doubt that Braun would have won?
You know, I like this match a lot. You know why? This is really the best representation of Triple H's black and gold NXT vision, and Vince McMahon's vision of NXT developmental coming together.
Yes, the vomit NXT versus the black and gold coming together. I like it. Tyler Bate, like, he grew up, he has like the whole mustache, long hair thing, right? It makes his head too big for his body, I feel. I don't know, that's just a random thought. I was watching, I'm like you know, Braun is big, he got a big hair, everything looks proportionate. Tyler Bate looks like his head too big, like a bobblehead.
Bro, tell me, right, when you look at Tyler Bate, right, you don't think of the Chinese New Year dragon. You know, the lion dancing.
Because the head,
the head, and then all the beard all hanging from him. It's really like the lion head, bro.
Yes. Can Sanity come back?
There's no one in Sanity left other than Nikki Cross, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so we're talking about Crazy Nikki,
Crazy Nikki Cross would make a great character addition on the roster for sure.
The quote-unquote twisted sister, as it were.
Yes. What was the one that she said? I know who ran over. Remember that whole
Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about
I
Aleister.
know who did it. who did it. Yeah. That was great.
Edison, welcome to the stream. How you doing? After this weekend of incredible wrestling. Well, I don't know about incredible wrestling, just a lot of it. Okay, so there's Worlds Collide. Here's the thing. I'm like, should I go and watch it again just to pay attention this time? Because, like I said, half the time I was busy doing life, right?
I think judging from what Edison is implying, I think you should be watching the post media scrum as well over that
Oh,
first.
okay. Well, I did watch, actually, I'd watched the CM Punk stuff, but we'll get to that in just a bit. Okay, I probably wouldn't rewatch Worlds Collide. I say if you haven't watched it, go and watch it, but I'm not going to rewatch it because I missed most of it because I wasn't paying attention. Like, the stakes weren't that high. Was a last minute thing. And, I mean, it's a nice short 2-hour event. So if you just need to kill 2 hours, ta-da!
Recently, there's been a lot of themed episodes of NXT,
Yep.
so I've kind of like lost track of what NXT Heatwave lah, NXT this, NXT that. So I have no idea what's going on over there. So somebody,
I don't know if they're trying to copy AEW or what it is. Like, AEW has all this shit as well. But yeah, I agree with you. It gets very confusing after a while. Got Heatwave, got American Bash, and it's just their weekly show, right?
Sometimes I thought, honestly, the Worlds Collide was actually a weekly show. Then I realized, it's a pay-per-view,
Yeah, I think because they made the decision to wind up NXT UK, they're like, okay, let's just do an event, just, proper send-off, that kind of thing. And it just so happened to have happened in such a busy weekend. I don't know, honestly, I don't know why they didn't just wait for next weekend when everything has died down and people are, like they have a week off of wrestling already, the big events. Hey, let's go and watch Worlds Collide. I don't know why they put it here and basically have an entire weekend of too much wrestling. Like, if
I don't know.
Look,
you're rushing towards,
Yeah, right? Like, honestly, we all have lives. And if I'm going to watch Clash, if I'm going to watch All Out, of course, which one is going to get sacrificed? It's going to be Worlds, what?
Yeah, so that's why worlds cannot collide, right?
Yeah.
Until we actually have the time to watch it collide. If not, the world just pass by,
Yeah, exactly. So I feel bad for a lot of the the UK stars who, obviously need to get a shine, right? Deserve to get a shine, but I think a lot of the attention is focused elsewhere.
And on that note, I need to also send my condolences to Dante Chen as well because he's got another loss over NXT Level Up.
Zion Quinn, right?
Yes, I'm very sorry, Dante. Like, I can't watch your match or I haven't had the time to watch your match because there's so many other things that's happening in this world right now. So, again,
it is what it is. It's a marathon, not a sprint, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I really hope that once NXT opens up and they have this new thing that's happening, all these other like underneath guys, including Dante, gets the opportunity to feature on the NXT show itself.
Well, you never know. Like, maybe the format is everyone from Europe also comes to NXT. Like there's only one. I heard somebody say like there's going to be only one NXT championship. So like what? NXT Europe will come and, fight for the NXT title. Like Triple H mentioned, it was going to be like a World Cup. There's only one World Cup. So there's not going to be an NXT UK champion. There's not going to be an NXT Asia champion. So in a lot of ways, maybe this is just their way of consolidating all under one roof.
Yeah. Interesting times for NXT. I wonder, what do you think, bro? Do you think they will keep like most of the Vince McMahonisms, the vomit brand of NXT? Or are they going to like, they can't rebrand it back to how it was because they already spent so much effort rebranding it to this new color scheme, right?
I think it's fine. They're obviously going for a younger crowd to, groom the viewers into finally graduating to Raw and SmackDown. It is what it is. But
you want to groom all the young men, just put more Mandy Rose every week. I think it should be fine.
Exactly. Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. Okay, let's move on from Worlds Collide then. And now the question is, do we want to do Clash first or All Out first? Okay, let's do Clash. Let's do Clash first because All Out is the freshest in my mind. So Clash, I just want to kind of get it out there as well.
Okay, yeah. We had like a day to sink in on Clash. Mind you, though, even though it was 1 a.m. for us, like I watched it back again, clearly, because I half asleep, right? Bro, amazing crowd, amazing audience. They need to perform in UK more often, bro.
Yeah, look, if you want to give... Oh, by the way, Worlds Collide, give us a score, okay, what you thought of Worlds Collide. But talking about Clash, if you want to give it a score, you must give +2 because of the crowd. Like, whatever you score, you gave it, right? The 2 points you gave it is probably because of the crowd. The crowd was just hungry. They were singing. They were with it. And honestly, thank goodness for the crowd because, how do I put this? I wouldn't say it was like bad, but it was kind of flat for me, Clash.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt it was a solid 6, but plus the crowd became 8.
Okay. I would say that everything was predictable. And also, I would say that they really fumbled the end. If they didn't fumble the end, if they had pulled the trigger, in my opinion, it would have made it a even more memorable show as it already was.
Sure. Let's start with the first. Actually, the funny thing is, I went to sleep at 1:00 when it started, so I actually watched the kickoff show. Right?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. Madcap Moss and the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Alpha Academy. Like, when Austin Theory showed up, I was like, oh, he confirmed will be involved in the finish somehow because he is Mr. Money in the Bank after all.
Yeah, he's been kind of under the radar for this past month a bit lah.
I think the point is to let us forget about him. So that when he does cash in, it'll be like, whoa, oh shit, forgot about you.
It worked for me because up until the cash in, I completely forgot about Austin Theory.
Yeah. I didn't finish the whole match. I just stopped. So did you catch this match?
I did a bit. Madcap Moss apparently was very well received by the audience. They really liked him.
I mean, look at the guy. We've talked about him before.
Yeah, but now he needs some direction because now he's just a guy. He is basically Wardlow after Wardlow's MJF feud. He's like, everyone likes him, but no direction yet.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the actual start of the pay-per-view, the premium live event. I was surprised that this one kicked things off because there was no championship. It was kind of there. Damage Control versus, I guess that's their name now because it's on their Titantron, versus Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. Bianca, Bliss, and Asuka, I felt like they were cold.
Damn put together team first and foremost. But Bianca's reaction also was pretty cool. Huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't flat. But Alexa and Asuka especially, they need to do something other than just randomly tagging up. They literally have no storyline. I felt zero connection to what they were doing.
Yeah, Alexa, the only thing that she had that was new to her is her gear. But other than that, I'm just confused what she is. And I think it's also because WWE is focusing on other wrestlers at this point in time. That's why she's kind of holding pattern.
Yeah.
Asuka, I don't know, bro. Asuka has the credibility and the love from the audience. They will always love her no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a Dolph Ziggler thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You see Dolph Ziggler confirm come out and lose one. He's an amazing talent, and I've sung Dolph Ziggler's praises before on the show, right? But and also knowing that Dakota and Io just came off a loss to Raquel Rodriguez Gonzalez and Aliyah, that they were going to pick up the win. There was no doubt who was going to win this one.
Yeah, they needed to. I mean, first of all, if they didn't win, then you just shit on the most popular stable that they have right now.
Yeah.
But did you see the beginning or not? That was the thing that was actually funny to me.
What, the crowd singing, hey,
Bele.
Ha, I wanna know. You gotta love the UK crowd.
The thing is, Bailey didn't want that reaction because she was trying to heal it up, but she couldn't help but smile at it.
Yeah.
I think she probably haven't heard it since NXT.
Yeah. No, then she ooh, thumbs down to them, but they were still singing along. They don't care about her being a heel and stuff like that.
I'm not your girl. I'm not your girl.
Yeah. Bro, what do you think about Dakota Kai and Io Sky?
I love the fact that
hold on, I love the sigh. But go ahead.
You know what I mean, right? I love the fact that they've gotten this spot. They have gotten this shine, but they haven't shown why they deserve to be on this stage. Dakota Kai, she can cut promos and stuff like that, but the personality, she was never the most charismatic person on NXT even, right?
Yep.
And Io, they're just basically making her a parody again. Making her Asuka Part 2.
Yes, see, that's exactly it, bro. You took the words right out of my mouth. I've never been 100% sold on Dakota Kai. I've always felt like she's a good mid-card talent. And then now I'm like, okay, she looks cool, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing, her promos, I don't think her promos are great either. This is all Bailey. Everything is Bailey right now. Io had that dark edge about her. And then when she came here, she just hammed it out a little bit more, just like Asuka. So I'm like, what am I watching here? But without the history of Io Sky or Io Shirai, like what she did in NXT. None of that is present here in Raw, right? Like, I don't know, maybe they need to run packages to remind people. But right now, in this match, I just saw a bunch of cold characters. All the characters, all cold.
Honestly, the problem is, right, when Io Shirai was really, really good, like when she turned heel in NXT, what made her really badass was even her promos, it was very menacing. It wasn't like over the top, I'm gonna kill you. It's like she was cursing in Japanese and all that, but there was this calculated coldness, like almost like a bitchy, I'm gonna beat you up kind of vibe. But if she introduced that to this, right, then it will contrast really well with Bailey being over the top, and she can be silent and like, menacing.
Guys, I have to apologize. There is construction works next door, and apparently this shit is gonna go on for a year. So good luck to my ears and my sanity.
My God.
But
wait,
yes,
near your house or
next
the neighbor?
door, my neighbor. So I don't know if you can hear the drilling right now. It's
I'm good. I can't hear anything.
As long as they don't start pile driving, because pile drivers are banned.
Oh no.
Okay. So Div Royalty says, yeah, Io had that cool rockstar vibe that got lost. Yes, exactly. She was, like you said, menacing. She was dark. Now she's just a slightly less colorful version of Asuka.
Yeah, and you already have Asuka being the racist stereotype. So like, why do you need another one? You know what I mean?
Salih says, bring in Poppy.
Oh yeah, Poppy, yes. So like all that great music as well.
Yeah.
And do you hear someone say, I think about Vince McMahon, that he doesn't know how to book Japanese wrestlers. Either he make them a caricature, or just make him like super goofy. Yeah, so that's the problem, right? Exactly.
What are you talking about, man? Let's look at the history of Japanese characters, shall we? Hakushi, okay? Then
Stereotypical.
Who?
Stereotypical.
Yeah. What's that guy's name that became a joke after a while? He had a
Huh?
Remember Yoshitatsu. Remember him?
Yeah, of course, bro. Jimmy Wang Yang, bro.
And then what about that guy who had the geisha wife?
Oh, Kenzo Suzuki.
Yeah, what happened to Kenzo Suzuki?
You know, like Nakamura a bit also.
Kairi had the same treatment.
But Kairi still lovable lah.
Yeah, like she had the whole pirate gimmick. I don't know.
When she still was pretty cool, in my opinion.
Irvin says she looks very uncomfortable out there. Yeah, I don't know if that was her vibe to begin with. I'm not uncomfortable in the ring, but uncomfortable cutting promos and just being with this group. So yeah, and that's, oh my god.
Oh, don't worry. Now I hear it.
Now you hear it? Okay. So yeah, that's why to me it was like a bit of a cold start for this event.
Yeah, I think they need some more time to kind of figure out who they are, or like really get their team together. Because I heard from an interview that Bailey did inside the ropes, right?
Yeah.
That this was thrown together last minute.
Okay, it shows.
Yeah.
So okay, we had Bailey pinning Bianca, which could lead to Bailey versus Bianca. That might be interesting. Like, okay, more shine on the women's tag team division, right? I mean, not tag team, sorry. Raw,
the Raw
main
title.
Yeah. Where does this leave Alexa Bliss and Asuka? I hope, I honestly, honest to God, I hope one of them turns on the other and they can go and feud.
Yeah, that. Or I hope one of them goes to SmackDown because they need a fresh start.
Yeah, shake up. Yep. And then what about Sasha Banks and Naomi?
Well, Sasha Banks and Naomi, when they come back, they already have built-in challenges or built-in feud, right?
Yeah, but the problem is the feud is with Raquel and Aaliyah. Who wants to see Raquel and Aaliyah versus Naomi and Sasha?
I mean, I just want to see Sasha back. Like, I want to see Naomi back. But honestly, I don't want to see them together.
Sure, fair enough.
Yeah.
As a team, they were anyway thrown together last minute. But it'll be them bad, right? They bring back Sasha, but they don't bring back Naomi. Oop.
No. I think Naomi, they will need to bring back. You know why?
Uso.
Because of whatever happened in the main event, right? I think the Bloodline have too many family members. They're going to start bringing out left, right, all the cousins everywhere.
And we'll get to that in just a bit. But maybe this should have been the match that kicked off the Premium Live event. What do you think? Because, I mean, a lot of people feel, I feel too, that this was the best match. We had Kunta with Imperium, and that was a cool moment, I think, for the UK fans. I hope this is what it's going to be moving forward, but you never know. Maybe it's just Triple H just giving them a quick pop lah, like, oh, we're going to put back Imperium. So you had Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, yes, all with their new names.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Them having new names instead of bringing back their old ones.
I mean, okay lah. You know,
You pick your battles, is it?
Yeah, you already changed their name. You're going to change back. You're going to confuse people, right? And Giovanni has been doing this like I'm a fashion model, like very high class fella.
I really like the entrance from NXT. Have you seen his entrance?
Yeah.
It's just him walking around and then posing and then Giovanni.
Oh my god.
Vinci.
Oh yeah, because that's not a rip-off of male models. Anyway, they went up against Shamus and the Brawling Brutes. Look, Gunther and Sheamus beat the fuck out of each other, huh?
Clearly, it makes sense for them to bring back Imperium, not just because they, for the sake of bringing back, but because they needed to even up the score of like Rich Holland and Pete Dunne at ringside. So I like the fact that that came into play.
Well, if anything, maybe in the future we will see more Imperium versus Brutes matches. So we'll have all the different combinations, Ludwig and Giovanni versus Holland and Butch. At least now we have more
Combinations.
Combinations to go.
Yeah, and of course Sheamus and Gunther like tore the house down. But the craziest thing that I've realized is that Sheamus is finally getting the love that the fans never gave him, like all these years later, right?
Yeah, exactly. Edison said Gunther and Sheamus legit look like a shoot, bro. Isn't that what wrestling should be?
Yeah, everything should look like a shoot.
Yeah, not the young buck. Anyway, we're jumping ahead here.
I'm slowly starting to accept Gunther as this skinnier fella. He kind of reminds me of who or not, bro?
Who?
Killer Kowalski. I don't know whether you've seen his physique before.
Sure. Yeah.
Tall, long, rangy. Yeah.
Funnily enough, and I know I'm fast forwarding a bit because they actually did a post-event press conference
Scrum as well.
Media scrum after, right? And they had Seth Rollins sitting next to Gunther. Somehow Gunther looks smaller than Seth. I was like, what is going on? Do my eyes not work anymore? Is it playing a trick? Did you watch the press conference?
I saw. So it was Gunther, Seth, and Liv Morgan together, all three of them. I know what you mean, but I just wanted to put your attention to the one part where one of the journalists asked, so do you guys watch SummerSlam 1992 to prepare for this moment?
Yes.
Do you see that? Do you see Liv Morgan's reaction?
Liv paise because she never watched. No, Seth was like, yeah, do you see I have the Bret Hart inspired jacket? Like you can see he's a student of the game. Obviously he would have watched it, right? And then Liv paise, never watched. I'll watch it tonight.
This one like the school children kena caught never do homework.
Oh my god.
No, but the funniest reaction was when she said, I wasn't born then. Everyone was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, she's so young, right? That was a good answer, not gonna lie. But okay, there's not much else to say other than this was a hard-hitting match. Obviously, they weren't gonna give the title to Sheamus. Gunther needs to hold it and be dominant. Sheamus is probably gonna take a break and let his two fellow brutes continue brawling, and that's what it is lah.
Keep Gunther on a title seat. I think every day that he's holding the Intercontinental title, the prestige comes back every single day. So keep that on him. Yeah.
Let's talk about Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. We had such high hopes for Shayna sort of being rehabbed, coming back as this badass, arm-breaking Ronda Rousey version 2. But the fact that she lost clean, man, it bugged the hell out of me. I don't know. Maybe it's just my expectations.
I get it. The fact that maybe her losing wasn't ideal. But honestly, this was the best she's looked since she's been on the main roster. Like this match, even though it was against Liv Morgan, I felt like it brought back all the elements of her as a killer from NXT, right? She was taunting Liv and I like that at least.
Is it wrong for me to say that Liv doesn't look like a champion here?
I thought she looked much better here than in SummerSlam for sure.
Yeah, but that's a low bar. It's a low bar.
It's a low bar indeed. But the funny thing, the thing that I love that didn't make sense logically was that she was trying to go toe-to-toe on her with the submissions.
Yeah.
When she shouldn't. Like, I rather, instead of trying to engage in submission battles with her, she should do all she can to stay away from submissions, but then when she kena submitted or kena put in the submission, she can reverse or learn how to roll and counter out because she learned that from Riddle.
Bro, she's rolling with Riddle and she's hanging out with what's the guy, the UFC champ?
Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to make her a mainstream girl. She appeared on Sneaker Complex also, bro. Do you realize that?
Oh, is it?
It's like this, the YouTube page Complex, where they do all the sneaker shopping with celebrities.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's like, they're trying to put her in the scene, making her cool and all that.
I mean, yeah, she definitely has the personality and the look to be there, but in terms of believability as someone versus Shayna, I'm not sold. I'm not sold. There was no shenanigans here.
If it was Mandy Rose in this position, you have believed it more, right?
Yep, absolutely. Irvin says he didn't mind Shayna losing. It seems like they're going to do Shayna versus Ronda. Well, you can't do Shayna versus Ronda if Shayna can't even beat Liv.
My question is, right, if once Ronda returns from her entire drama with Adam Pearce, which by the way I saw that segment, Adam Pearce was so good.
Yes, can we and he made Ronda Rousey look good. Like, okay, kudos to Ronda for just being just a snarky, snide, you know what? But holy shit, like you can tell somebody just went to her and said, just lean into your worst your best worst tendencies. Just be as heel. Let's say what you really feel inside, and she did, and it was perfect. The crowd loved it because she was being just such a nasty person. And then Adam Pearce, I can relate also because I'm in middle management as well. So I'm like, bro, I feel you, bro. Like, people who just won't just freaking do their job properly, want to go and be all like outlaw and shit like that. So I'm like, damn, Adam Pearce just gained my respect with that promo.
Is Adam Pearce dealing with Ronda similar to you having to deal with like a Dikosh? Something like that.
Okay, that was a very different story, bro. Very different story.
No. But okay, one thing I must admit, right? I hope my girlfriend is not listening. I think she never listen right now.
Ooh.
Ronda as a healer in that outfit, hot shit.
Yes, that's exactly it. She's being her real self times 1,000, I'm sure, right? She's not real, but she's leaning in. Yeah.
It's not that, like physically she's of course attractive, but like
it's
just
an attitude
the confidence,
thing.
the attitude,
yes.
like, oh man, I'm into like disrespectful girls, I guess.
No, like it's authenticity at the end of the day. Like that smiling, waving shit, it was not her. And that's why it came off as fake. And that's why it felt uncomfortable for her to do and for us to watch, right? That being said, Liv clearly, to me anyway, is not ready to be a champion. And this was one of the worst women's matches. Okay, no, I take that back. This is the second worst women's match this weekend.
Do you think the problem is, right? Liv has the problem that Ronda had. She's being inauthentic.
No, I don't actually. I feel like she's just green. In terms, her problem is not her promos, not really. Her problem is her ring work is not great.
Okay. So she hasn't upped her ring game to match like her personality and her potential and charisma and all that.
Yes, that's why I compare her to an early days Trish, where it's clear that Trish is a star and can draw, but when you put her in a match, it's like, ugh.
Okay, I know who she is.
Who?
Liv Morgan at this point, right, in her reign, right? She's a bit like Christy Hemme or Candice Michelle, you know?
Yeah.
They put a title on her, like she's Kelly, put a title on her, but like...
Actually, Kelly is a very good comparison.
Yeah. Like, because Kelly, they push her well.
Yeah, she's over with the fans because she's pretty, she's hot, right? And, she's bubbly, but her ring work is not all there.
The only way to give her more reps, if there was like a women's mid-card, like a TBS title, I think Liv Morgan would have been perfect for it.
I'm trying to remember actually, was Liv even ever in NXT?
She was very short time.
Yeah, maybe they need to send her back to NXT. Okay, now might be too late, like she's been SmackDown champion, but like I think more time on NXT. I feel like I've seen Aaliyah more on NXT than on the main roster.
Give her more TV defenses. Like I think she needs to defend the title regularly, have matches regularly.
But the problem is, anybody she defends against, she's still the underdog somehow. There's no edge to her.
Yeah, maybe. But
like okay,
that's why I think she needs to turn heel. That's the thing.
Liv versus Nikki Ash. Nikki is the veteran. Liv versus Doudrop. Visually, Doudrop should beat her. Liv versus Aaliyah. it's the only match that I can see her winning because Aaliyah Green than her.
Yeah, slightly lah. I mean, okay lah. She's been put in this position because of the fans. Don't forget. The fans wanted her to succeed.
Sure.
So let's see how she performs in this role.
Like Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, maybe as tag team champions, maybe that would make more sense.
Well, but Liv has been in the tag team for so long.
With who?
As in Riot Squad,
Oh,
that's part of a tag team for so long.
Yeah.
You know what? Give her this reign for a bit, then let her drop the title. Then after that, see how she performs with or without the title, and give her a heel run. That's the only way to be.
It'll be interesting to see how she does as a heel, though, because I don't know if she's too nice to be a heel. It might come off as inauthentic.
Bro, the nicest people are the ones who actually have a lot of repressed anger, bro.
Okay, maybe we'll have to wait and see, but it doesn't seem like that it's gonna happen anytime soon, huh?
No.
Let's move on. All right, Edge and Mysterio, Ray, versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley.
Are you sure it's not Rey Mysterio and El Generico?
So Edge comes out in the mask. I mean, that was a cool moment, I suppose, right? Edge is all about the moments now, yeah.
He looks funny, bro. He looks like an old man wearing, like those crazy old uncle in the mask.
Yes, exactly. The match itself, it was fine. It's veterans going at it, right?
Yep. Well, okay, the match was nothing to write home about. A bit sad that Judgment Day still lost after all that.
Edge, what do you think of Edge, the Edge 19?
Oh yeah, why they call it 519? I don't get that reference.
Because it was 100 less than 619. I mean, he tried his best. He's not a luchador. It's not his move.
Bro, he's not a spring chicken also.
Yeah, I close one eye like his Edge, like he's broken out his neck's for us already. So okay, never mind, give him a pass on that shit, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
yes,
funny,
the Judgment Day lose again.
Yeah. Honestly, they could have done exact same thing with this match and still keep them as the winner. You know what I mean? Like they can make them win and still do the angle after the fact. Okay, and everyone's happy.
So the angle is Dominic turning on his father and Edge, right?
Yeah. What's on that?
Okay, you know what? I didn't hate the story. As in, it's like, why did you pick Edge over me? Why you never pick me? Sort of a vibe. I get it. Okay, when he punt kicked Edge in the balls, right? Did you see Edge act?
Oh yeah.
Like he like, ooh, and then he looked at him as he's falling down. I was like, he's an actor.
Oh yeah, man, the actor in him came up, bro. He's the Joey from Friends.
Yeah. He went down and then looked at him with this I don't believe you did that face. So I want to see different angles on that shit just to see how well it was acted.
I want it to, they want to put some dramatic background music at the same time.
And then he come. No. And the angle which he kicked him in, right? Edge could have just went down, but no. As he's slowly going down, he turns his head. Wow,
bro.
Bravo, actor. Give him an Emmy. Give this man an Oscar.
He want to channel his inner Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 19 against Chris Jericho. Remember or not? Oh, no, but Chris, that one, I remember. Shawn leaned on Chris, right? He was like, oh yeah, he fell on him.
Yeah. And then Chris had to push him off and get the fuck off of me. Sort of a deal.
Yeah. Bro, clearly Edge came from the Heartbreak Kid School of Acting, bro.
See, I try.
Okay, but another thing that was funny was, right, he kicked him so hard, his shoe came off. You saw that?
No, I didn't. Really?
You watched back. His shoe came off. It's like halfway he wore his shoe back. Very funny. And then, okay, so clearly, right, from the moment Dominic started growing out a mullet, right, you know that it's gonna be Dominic Guerrero sooner or later, bro.
Yeah, the signs were there, right? Who's your papi? Sort of that whole deal. Oh my god, he's becoming an Eddie.
Tomorrow, if he comes out and starts growing this beard like I do, then you know Eddie Guerrero coming.
Yeah, I lie. I got a DNA test. I'm actually Eddie Guerrero's son. Wow, can you imagine? That's long-term storytelling, bro.
16 years later, bro. Okay, I mean, okay.
I mean, we've talked about this heel turn forever already, right?
Dominic
yeah.
needs this, right? Because he clearly needs some sort of personality injection.
Yeah. And we've talked about it a million times. Ray versus Dominic at WrestleMania is a story that writes itself. Ray will be the father that doesn't want to beat up his son, but his son wants to, step out of the shadow. If done right, this can be one of the marquee matches at WrestleMania.
And no offense, as much as we love Dominic, he's a great guy, we love his story, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he's ready, bro.
You have from now to WrestleMania to get him ready. I think it's doable. I think it is 100% doable. So you can, in between, have Dominic versus all of Ray's friends. Yeah, Dominic versus Edge, like all his friends. Oh, is this time for Chavo to come back?
Chavito. One thing I love also, the saving grace of this segment was Finn Balor laughing. Very funny.
Bro, that's a meme. Did you see? Like,
I saw Finn Balor posting on his IG that he put music to it.
Yeah, it was basically the Judgment Day all laughing, ha ha, even though they just lost, and I guess we can forget about that.
Who cares about losing when you can turn to Rey Mysterio's son? Okay.
Exactly. That was the whole point. The question is, will he join the Judgment Day or did he just turn?
Honestly, he doesn't fit Judgment Day at all unless he starts acting like a submissive to Rhea Ripley and wears a Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the
Hutt? You watch Star Wars, right?
Yeah, as in the collar on Leia, you mean?
Yeah. So I am in no way comparing Rhea Ripley with Jabba the Hutt.
Right.
I'm saying is
a submissive collar lah. That's what you mean lah.
Bro, he becomes like meat like Sean Stasiak.
Oh my god! Do you remember? Like last week we talked about this, where it's just like this complete turn where they've been whispering into Dominic's ear, and it's all Ripley. Like he enjoys the beatings that he gets, and then they will become a comedy duo. If that actually happens, they might turn face.
You know that if Dominic actually suddenly somehow finds some charm in him, and he actually like kind of wins over Rhea, or Rhea can't help but fall for him, right? Yeah. They are the new generation AD Guerrero and China. Don't you think so?
Yes, 100%. Well, I will give the WWE this. They've done a child versus father turn much better than AEW.
A child versus father. Oh, okay.
Look, the guns? Freaking Colton and Austin turning on Billy was a 1 week on free television payoff, like nothing like that. What a waste. Don't you think that was a complete waste? And they were doing like great stuff with the Acclaim. I dare say that, I know I'm jumping ahead to AEW, but I dare say that the Acclaim got themselves over together with the guns and Billy.
Together? Yeah.
No help from the fucking EVPs looking at the tag team bullshit group. They just got themselves over like that. And it just sucks that they didn't get a prime time slot highlight that this, they have Billy Gunn getting turned on by his kids.
Yeah, it's a bit too fast because right now Billy Gunn just moved along to the Acclaim just like that. And now the guns are nowhere to be seen. You
know why it's fast? Because it's very clear. Nobody is planning anything for them. They just, we just use the time that we've been given to do the best thing we can do. And they got themselves over.
Yeah, which is credit to them. Yep. And also it's an indictment in the way that things are being booked and run there.
Yep.
And the media post-scrum kind of reveals a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get back to the WWE stuff while we try to... I try to maintain my
sanity. Through this.
Fucking, it sounds like the power drill is right outside my room. See what is going on? I apologize, people, but you can blame my neighbors for this. Seth freaking Rollins versus Matt Riddle, coming off of the quote-unquote John Jones, Daniel Cormier inspired interview segment.
Yo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here. Can you hear me?
No, I was just channeling my Seth Rollins.
Oh, right. Are you still there? Man, I'm gonna fucking kill you, man. I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, I guess because Matt Riddle is an MMA guy, he probably remembers this promo. He probably pitched this actually as the MMA guy.
And also, I love the fact that, again, big fan of Ariel Helwani, so I was watching all his interviews leading up to Clash at the Castle. He sat down with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins basically admitted that they have legit real life heat. It's still unresolved, and they genuinely don't like each other. And Riddle was a bit like Hangman Page. If you take the comparison,
Yeah.
because the quote that Seth said to Ariel was like he didn't like the way Riddle was going about his business, stemming from the fact that when he was on NXT, he was calling out all these big names, like he was calling out Brock, calling out
Goldberg.
Roman, Goldberg, trying to cari pasal in Malay, that's what I call it, like finding problem with all these people.
Right.
To just talk all this shit, to talk his way to the top, and then like Seth's deal was like, just pay your dues, man. Like, go through the system. Eventually, you're so talented, you will reach this level. But don't be an asshole, because these people who are willing to put you over ain't gonna want to work with you if you keep talking your shit like that, lah.
Right.
And you hear about him also, like I think shitting on Seth Rollins' ex-wife.
Oh, really?
Ex-girlfriend, yeah.
Oh.
So what happened was, okay, so the whole thing about Riddle, the kena divorce, the kids take over him is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then a few years ago, Seth Rollins Riddle's now ex-wife, actually shitted on the women's roster, WWE women's roster, the NXT roster, I think.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, she go find cari pasal with Seth Rollins' ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, ex-fiancée, I think. And the thing is, Riddle put out a tweet something like, you know what, I will defend my wife, like I stand by whatever she says. So like Seth was pissed because like you literally can't control your own wife, and we are colleagues, and you know what she said is bullshit, but yet you choose to defend her. So that's why like he feels like, okay, this happened, your divorce, to me, when the red light is on, it's all fair game. I can use whatever your drama that you choose to publicize against you.
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, unlike Hangman Page, unlike a CM Punk, at least they can work together, right? And nobody's threatening to quit and stuff like that. We'll get to what Irvin just shared on chat, by the way, which is, pretty exciting news, but also not very surprising at all. Irvin says that after Punk's comments, Omega and the Bucks threatened to leave AEW. Big surprise. Bunch of crybabies. Big surprise. But yeah, coming back to Seth versus Riddle, the match itself was fine. Like, I don't think this was anything earth-shattering here. But then again, they are both very talented individuals, right?
I think they got great chemistry though.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the match felt really good.
Real life heat always lends itself to great in-ring chemistry, and if they can harness it and actually work together, I think it works. Seth beat Riddle pretty convinced, like cleanly, like there wasn't too much shenanigans.
The thing is, Seth definitely needed a victory. He's due a victory.
Yep.
He's been losing a lot recently.
Do you think this is also a way for like Triple H to like sort of like, like on Matt Riddle, because Matt Riddle has been talking a lot of shit and everything, and Seth is Triple H's guy. I mean, there's no two ways about it, right? So in a way, it's like, okay, you get the win, like slap on the hand for Matt, and then let's move on.
Also, I think it's not the end of everything, because next month is Extreme Rules, right? And the match and the rivalry is getting heated and personal.
Yep.
You know they need like a stipulation match for the next month's pay-per-view, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, let's move on to the main event then, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Drew McIntyre in his house, and the pre-package as well. Before he comes out, got the his old theme song footage from his like they really were pushing it like he's gonna win. He's got to do it in his hometown. And then Roman Reigns, no bloodline. Everyone kinda destroyed before coming to Wales. So it's Roman and he's by himself versus Drew and the entire arena.
Bro, he looks naked, bro, without the bloodline. Like,
I know, but
it's been so long.
Yeah. But I mean, still, he looks like a champion at the end of the day.
Sure.
Yeah, Roman and Drew both look like champions, and I bring that up because I want to tie it in with AEW in just a little while. Because I did the experiment once again, because I was watching AEW All Out at work. Jackie was next to me.
Jackie, right?
So the first thing I asked her when anybody came out, does that look like a champion to you? Compare this person to Roman Reigns.
Did you let her watch a bit of Clash at the Castle then?
No, I didn't let her watch Clash, only All Out. But only the first half
Okay.
because it finished. I mean, I finished my show at 10, ma.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the thing is, again, one thing that made me so hyped for the Clash at the Castle was the fact that first, the crowd just made everything amazing. Secondly, like Drew is like the first like contender in a long time that felt like a legitimate threat to Roman. Third, like both of them look like this generation's like horses, like workhorse, look like really like the part. Somebody said it best. Somebody described Drew right as a mix between Rick Rude and Scott Hall. Can you see it?
Yes, I can actually. And not only that, you had a lot of wild cards in play as well. You had Karrion Kross in ringside.
Yeah.
They purposely put him there. And let's just say this, right? They're obviously trying to right the wrongs of Karrion Kross's first introduction. Remember when he showed up on Raw and lost to Jeff Hardy without Scarlett? Yeah.
Yes.
This look, if anything, if they want to push somebody, they know how to make them stars. You introduce them immediately against a top star, not a jobber, and you have them go over and beat up jobbers. So on SmackDown, you had Karrion Kross absolutely annihilating Drew Gulak, right?
Yes.
And what was the first thing that Karrion Kross did in his re-debut on SmackDown? Go against Drew and Roman Reigns. So instant star making.
Yeah, and straight away it sets up potential feuds going out of this title. So you know that it's not going to be Drew versus Roman 3, 4, 5 times because you know there's other contenders chomping at the bit.
And you compare that to how AEW has debuted its supposed big stars. It's, you debut first match, lose to Orange Cassidy or some such horse shit like that. You are in, like, oh my god. Should we talk about it now or should we get to it when we talk about All Out? Because I want to talk about Dynamite as well.
Yeah, let's finish up Clash at the Castle first.
Okay. The match itself, hard-hitting match. It's Roman versus Drew. I mean, at the end of the day, it felt a bit predictable because there were rumors that, Solo just got his call-up to the main roster. It's like, if Solo Sikoa is going to show up, now would be the perfect time, would it not?
Honestly, when I was watching it live, and and it was just me and not looking at social media or anything, like, I felt the crowd. I felt like, Drew, it was Drew's time, bro.
Yeah, bro, like I said, the crowd gave an extra 2 points to whatever the score you were going to give this. And then you had Tyson Fury. Okay, so I guess Austin Theory screwing up his cash-in is going to be a running joke, is it?
Yeah, quite funny, bro.
You lose like, oh my god, bang, hantam by Tyson Fury only. I mean, I guess that's one way to write him out.
Honestly, I didn't see at first who he was. For like 2 seconds, I thought it was Johnny Gargano.
Oh.
That would have been like, a great way for him to have a side quest feud, right?
Yeah.
Because they already kind of tease it. But then when it was Tyson Fury, I was like, Tyson Fury, hometown guy and all that.
Yeah. And also Tyson was talking to Roman Reigns, like he respects them, blah, blah, blah. He wanted to keep the match, just between the two of them. I get it. I'm not going to, and it was funny also. Like, Austin Theory is a bit of a Joker character now.
He is I love it but slowly he will get that serious vibe. But I think for now, let him be like in Malay we call him a Bahan.
A Bahan?
Bahan, Bahan.
What is that?
So Bahan mean like you're just somebody to make fun of lah. You're just like a butt of everyone's joke, like Bahan.
Right. Well, like we always say, you subvert expectations, especially with Austin Theory, to the point where you forget he is the Money in the Bank winner.
Yes.
Then and only then, when we have forgotten about him, then you have him cash in. Then it's a big shot, right?
Yeah. And also, having Tyson there, like the mainstream coverage is one thing.
Yeah.
But then when there wasn't any Roman, there wasn't any bloodline, no Sami, no Usos, no Heyman, I really, really felt like after how many times they kick out of all the finishes, right? Drew is definitely Drew for sure, for sure. Until that happened.
Yes, until Solo Sikoa interfered in the match, won the match for Roman Reigns. And see, here's the thing, like, I don't hate it because, yes, he still needed somebody to help him win, but he didn't look weak. He's still a dominant champion. It's just that he just needed that edge, like that,
No pun
to win.
intended, yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't as if he was going to lose, like, well, we never know, I guess.
Do you feel like it is a missed opportunity to put the title on Drew?
Here's the thing. Like, I know, like, last week and the week before, leading up to this, I was like, I don't think it's time to take the title off of Roman. I feel like they have reserved that spot for Adrenaline in my soul.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I feel like they are waiting to make Cody Rhodes the guy.
The guy.
Yeah.
The guy.
And then you can move on with Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania because, like we've talked about before, this doesn't require the title. So you make 2 stars, right?
If that's the case, I don't mind Roman dropping it to Cody earlier before WrestleMania.
Yeah lah.
Cody winning, and then Drew getting his rematch against Cody, and Drew getting that moment from Cody
At WrestleMania or? Well, okay, it's quite clear lah. Right now, Drew is probably going to move on to a program with Karrion Kross.
Yeah, for sure. And Karrion Kross definitely will get the rub, will beat Drew as well.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, again, Drew feels like that underdog that everybody wants to win, and the fans need that moment with Drew, and Drew needs that moment with the fans. So you can't take that away.
Here's the thing, we have a couple of months before WrestleMania and you never know what can happen. Remember Kofi Mania started just a few months out and it was the most random thing. Fan love might build for Drew in the next couple of months, or it might completely die down and then poor guy, he gets a mid-card feud at WrestleMania. We never know these things, right? But definitely I feel like the person that is going to dethrone Roman, it will be Cody at this point.
Okay, but the question is when?
Yeah, when? Yeah, like when is he going to make his big comeback, right? Is it going to be Rumble or Survivor Series, that kind of thing? And that will be the big surprise lah.
And Triple H has more or less confirmed that The Rock's going to come back for WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So,
which will be interesting because Roman now literally has, he has Jimmy and Jay, he has Sami Zayn, he has Paul Heyman. They're going to draw in one Solo Sikoa, which is hilarious because he's the Jimmy and Jay's little brother, but he got different last name.
Bro, damn it, bring back Rikishi for all I care. Bring back Rikishi in the segment against The Rock.
Head Shrinkers, what other Samoans? Freaking Samoa Joe come back lah. He's the only non-Anoa'i family Samoan in wrestling.
But it has the name Samoa in his name. So
bring who the Tonga fella?
Tonga Kid, Tonga Lia, Guerrillas of Destiny.
Yeah, bring them all stand with Roman Reigns. And then The Rock is like, yeah, I guess there's more to be told with this story. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, Roman Reigns so stale, right? The point is to build up a Cody. You need somebody to like be that all-conquering hero to finally take the title of Roman, and I see honestly nobody other than Cody doing it at this point.
Honestly, I disagree that the Roman Reigns is stale right now. I think in the last couple of months, he's been even more interesting. Not just because of him, because of all the moving parts around him and the bloodline.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like when Sami Zayn stepped up big time to make the bloodline interesting.
All the political game between Sami and the Usos. Now we have Solo Sikoa, and as I've alluded to earlier, if Naomi comes back in a different role, fuck it, make the bloodline like we have cousins in every city.
Bro, then you know who else they need to bring back?
Who, bro?
How does her song go already?
What?
Nia Jax
Oh, Nia Jax.
I'm not
like most
girls. Because she's also a cousin of The Rock, what?
Yeah, but I think maybe she's the cousin that The Rock doesn't want to invite to optics.
Oh, I know. Bring back Nia Jax, have Nia Jax join the bloodline, and then she go to NXT and beat up The Rock's daughter.
Woo! Take out The Rock's daughter.
Thus bringing The Rock back to the WWE to seek revenge. Come, book it.
Bro, deep.
That's right. What's it? Simone, don't know what her name.
No, she got new name, but I forgot her name already. Eva Ray.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, use Tamina instead of Nia. Is Tamina related? I thought Tamina is a snooker. Is snooker related?
Kind of. No, Tamina is related because I remember The Rock on his Instagram bought a house with Tamina as well.
Right. Okay lah, then you have Tamina join in and Tamina destroy The Rock's daughter already.
Bro, their bloodline is strong, bro. I want to be part of the Samoan family.
and then The Rock comes back and says, how dare you beat up my daughter? I'm going to take back the house I gave you.
I remember this joke, like everyone, when I was growing up, everyone in my family, right, thought that The Rock was Malay, though.
Huh?
Because he looked Malay. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
he can be my older cousin, he got that Malay face.
God,
Funny, sir.
everybody tried to join the bloodline. Actually, that would be quite a funny segment where everyone just shows up, say, "I'm also part of the bloodline."
Yeah, okay. You know what? Sami Zayn, MVP. I wish he was at Clash, but
Yeah.
he really is the Owen Hart of this scenario, bro. I love it.
Yeah. It's like Owen Hart joining the Nation, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am not a nugget.
Nugget. Sammy is, I think, the only honorary Uso. I don't know who else would fit in that group and pull it off. Okay, so moving on then. Yeah, like, I don't know if I don't think I'm being harsh by saying that this pay-per-view or this premium live event was really quite middle of the road. You add the crowd, then it makes it pop. Like, you take the crowd out of it, I don't think, hang on. I forgot about the finish to the premium live event.
Honestly, I thought the show went off air, honestly.
Yeah, no, but it was still part of the show. Tyson Fury coming in to sing karaoke with Drew after Drew lost.
Bro,
What?
they think they The Rock and Stone Cold can do singing karaoke all.
I mean, the crowd loved it. They went along with it. But I'm sure a lot of us, a lot of American fans are like, what the hell is this? Because I get that, okay, you have to send the crowd home happy, right? And it was a heel winning the main event. So I guess the way to send the UK crowd home is to sing songs.
I mean, it's a UK thing, bro. They love their singing and their bar and their merrymaking.
American Pie was the most weird choice.
Yeah, at least Don't Look Back in Anger Oasis made sense.
Yeah. But American Pie? What?
Okay, there must be some reference there that we are missing, but yeah, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
But somehow, right, I don't know about you, right, but actually, I was listening and I was like, hey, Tyson Fury that really trying
Not
to
bad.
show off his singing skills,
Yeah,
It's
and then
like-
Drew never mind, Drew.
It's okay, Drew just stick to becoming a badass wrestler, like
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Like, when people try to sing versus when people just anyhow sing. Tyson, I was gonna say Tyson Theory. Tyson Fury sounded like he was trying to sing.
Bro, Tyson looked like he was practicing his entire life for this moment. Right? It's like, oh no, yes, I got my chance to show off my. He think he was in X Factor, America's Got Talent or something.
Yeah, Britain's Got Talent. I don't know how they managed to pitch this and make it happen, but it happened. And okay, it was a bit of a head scratcher, but it is what it is. But like
I wish that happened after it went off air. Then it wouldn't have been so weird.
Yeah, it was very weird for the viewing audience, right? But for the crowd, yeah, you send them home happy and stuff like that. But okay, do you like where do you give this in terms of a number value for the pay-per-view?
Honestly, I see where you're coming from. That the matches were predictable and all that, but I had to give it a high score. I had to give it an 8. Because I think I haven't felt this hopeful for WWE going forward. Even with the weird ending, like even with like them keeping the title on Roman, it still made sense. Like if my thinking, my philosophy is, if you're not sure of taking the title away from him or not sure who to put it on, then don't even do it. Just keep it until you know it's the right time. Yeah, and also the fact that Gunther and Sheamus to me is match of the year contender. So
okay. Irvin says he always sings after his matches. It's a thing he does, and it's always American Pie. So there you go. It's a Tyson Fury thing more than anything.
It's a boxing thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, did you watch his Deontay Wilder fight or something?
No, I did not. So, yeah, you gave it an 8, but you take away the crowd. What do you think it was? See, that's my whole point. Because, like I said, I gave it a 6, but because of the crowd, it's an 8, right?
If I take away the crowd, I think it's still a 7.
Okay.
I think the matches were well wrestled. Like, nobody can say that the matches were weak. I mean, Liv Morgan put in some effort in like making her match competitive. You gotta admit, right?
Yeah, no, that one to me is like Shayna Baszler giving too much. But okay, fine, I get it. She's there to make Liv look good. That's why it's above a 5. It's definitely well wrestled. It just wasn't very earth-shattering. And to their credit, like I've said before, it's not like, oh, this is Triple H's first one. You expect big things, right? They can't turn the Titanic on a dime. You know, you still need to slowly get there, and this, like you said, does make things, hopeful for the future of the WWE.
Yeah, even small things like putting Imperium back.
Yeah.
Even small things like giving Drew that whole Broken Dreams, that theme song back. Like all these little things that fans have been asking for years.
See,
that's great.
that's the difference between Triple H and the freaking Young Bucks over there, right? Like Triple H, he respects the past and he drops little subtle hints without confusing the casuals. You know, there is this thought like, okay, how do we present a piece of information without making it so that only the diehards know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think at the end of the day, the thing that makes fans long-time fans is when they get rewarded for their long-term fandom, right?
Yes.
Remembering all the things that happened from years ago and bringing them back to the present. That's how it works.
Yes, but at the same time, not alienating your casuals.
Yes, correct. Because the casuals will just gravitate towards the things that they see on the screen, like Drew looking like a badass, Roman with his great music, you know?
Yep. So there you go. That's Clash at the Castle. Now let's move on to today's shenanigans. And I love that the drilling has stopped. So that must be a signal for me that, you know, it is time to really get down into the business. And
all right.
In a lot of ways, bro, I feel like the drama outside of the ring is more happening than the drama inside the ring. As it relates to AEW right now.
Okay, both in AEW especially. Okay, but wait, before we start, right? Between Clash at the Castle and AEW, which show do you actually prefer more?
Clash at the Castle or AEW? That's...
There can be different like metrics of how you enjoy it more. But personally for you, like you can elaborate in what way lah.
Okay, I think that in a lot of ways, and Vince McMahon said this best, I'm paraphrasing, but your finish is the most important thing. People remember the last thing that happens. And because Drew and Roman's finish was a sing-song, it was not as impactful as the Joker, as we will talk about in just a few minutes. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Are you telling me, Mr. Young, you're actually going to say that you enjoy AEW more?
Okay, and I will explain to you why. And see, here's the thing. I don't understand. People are always, Mr. Young, you hate AEW, you are WWE for life. If you actually listen to the podcast, you will see that there are actual reasons for, feeling these ways, right? And let me get right down to it. Before we get right down to things, you know what?
And if you actually listen to the podcast, you will like, you will subscribe, and please support us on Patreon as well.
Exactly. And if you actually listen to the podcast, you'll know that if you need to buy, sell, or rent, well, there's only one man, our guy. You need to go hit up right now. And even if you're not in the market, at some point in your life, you will be in the market to buy, sell, or rent property. Nick Man!
Yo, man, please follow him at 65 Roofs on Instagram. You know, if you're not ready or you're not at the point in your life where you're thinking of purchasing a property, at least have him in your eyeline, have him in your sphere of influence, you know, so when the time comes, you can talk to him about wrestling, can talk to him about property. And of course, I'm very sad to announce today will be the last day that he will be our official sponsor. Our deal with him has come out. It's like, the Warner Brothers and the Fox deal has come out already.
But hey, it's all good, we want to give Nickma a shout out for supporting us all throughout the years and, coming in with this sponsorship and everything. Like, at the end of the day, right, you want to do your buying, selling, and renting with somebody who is of the same mind. And, we're all wrestling fans. He is a huge wrestling fan here. As you can see him hanging out with the cleaner over here. I'm not talking about the cleaner uncle. I'm talking about Kenny Omega.
Yes, correct. But I think at that point in time, there hasn't been any AEW drama yet, so this was still happy times, 2019.
Exactly, and then here he is with Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight. Yes. And not only did he get to meet Pete Dunne, bro, he also got to meet Butch.
Hey, two different people. Amazing.
Obviously, right? There you go. I mean, hey, we know Nick Matt at this point. He's a fan. And like I said, he's one of us. If you are looking to buy, sell, or rent, first of all, go follow him on Instagram so you know him. And you can always check out his stuff. And he does a lot of interesting stuff on his Instagram account as well, right?
I realized that. And Nick Matt actually DM our IG page and said that he was so pissed off by the ending of Roman and Drew. He was saying so lame. And the hometown audience also still want to give them a loss. So he was very invested over the weekend as well.
Okay, there you go. But it is what it is. Hey, if I tell you what, if Drew needs a place to cry, Nick Buck can find him that place in Singapore.
Essentially, he want to come to Singapore for holiday and take a rest.
Yeah, come find Nick. From all these Roman Reigns and Karrion Kross shenanigans, come find Nick Matt, okay?
All right, JT. Okay. I guess I'm very interested and curious to know, Mr. Young, your opinion of AEW All Out, and I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the rest of the listeners as well.
Well, before we get to All Out, and I spoke at length about this on our Discord, right? The one thing that really bugged me about Dynamite, and I watched Dynamite from back to front, front to back,
This
rather.
past week?
Yeah.
This past week?
Of course, that was the big thing. Like, how were they going to set up a title match when, Moxley the week before had jobbed or had squashed CM Punk, right? So they announced it right away. You have Moxley come out there, cut a promo, a decent promo, a bit long-winded, but that's Moxley's problem. Like, he kind of hits the points already, and then he realizes he got more time, or I don't know, he just wanted to talk more, but he just went on. He could have actually cut that promo in half. It would have been perfect. Like, it would have been a promo that did the job and fit him. All that aside, it's still fine. He drops the open contract in the middle of the ring. And this is where the whole thing falls to shit. I don't know who booked this. I don't know why they booked it but like that. But not a single soul came out to claim the contract. I'm sorry, but that makes zero sense. Logically, and here's the thing, right? I was like playing games on my Twitch stream, and people were, oh my god, yeah, did you see what happened? AEW was great. When I confront them with that question, why did nobody come out in terms of the logic? Oh, cannot. Oh, you just love WWE. I'm like, no, that's just a failure in booking. Like,
Who said that to you, bro? Who said that? I find the guy.
I don't want to name names, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's
Okay,
there's
I
this-
get it. They need to treat it like the 24/7 title. The moment is there, people should be like scrambling to go and challenge.
Not in a comedic sense, like the
Yeah.
24/7 title, right? Like, I don't mean that. But the fact that literally nobody made a move for the World Championship open contract, like if Austin Theory dropped Money in the Bank in the middle of the ring, you're meaning to tell me nobody's going to come out? A road agent has to come out? I mean, come on. How dumb, either dumb or pussy does that make everybody in the locker room? And you know what was the very next segment?
Can't remember it.
The reveal of Morrissey. How badass does Morrissey look?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Big
Morrissey,
cast. Look like a fucking damn tall, look jacked to the gills. And remember we talked about how you debut somebody? How did Chris Jericho debut? Who did he debut against?
The Rock.
Even though he slid down the card after that, but you can never take away that instant
Initial.
initial impression. Wow, he's hanging up there with The Rock. He's a main guy. No, you have Morrissey, who looks like a main eventer, debut against who? The Wingmen.
Yeah,
What the fuck is that? Like, this is my big problem with AEW, right? They have zero. Like, we talk about Tony Khan. Oh, long-term booking, he has none. That's bullshit. That's a lie. They brought him in, as we will see later what he's doing. I'm going to hang out with the Hathaway guy. And all that. He's a glorified muscle at this point. But you know what I mean? Like, you're meaning to tell me that you have this big badass horse. He didn't come out to claim the contract. No, a road agent had to come out to claim the contract.
The thing is, right, this is not even the first time we saw Morrissey in AEW, because he wasn't part of that whole Chris Jericho facing not Chris Jericho, sorry, was it Sam? No, Wardlow faced against Morrissey that time when MJF was having a rivalry with Wardlow. So it wasn't even the first time. So the funny thing is, he answered MJF's call as like the heavy, right, to do a hit. But in Impact, he is like the most beloved babyface.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this means he's going to be there permanently. Is this foreshadowing? Because he does become one of the heavies for Stokely. Hathaway.
He is permanently with AEW now, because I found out that his contract with Impact just ran out over the summer. So now that's why just now, that time when he test water, now he's officially in the company already.
But that's my point. My point is they don't know how to debut people and make them a big deal. You debut this guy as a mid-card destroyer. Who gives a shit? You debut against the Wingman. Nobody gives a fuck about the Wingman.
Yeah, clearly.
Look, like, I don't care what you want to say, how great or not great the main event was. The fact that glaring lapse in logic renders your entire locker room useless and dumb. Like, literally, like Sammy Guevara, Ortiz, like, nobody came out. And it's not as if, like, the road agent immediately slid in and take, No, it was like a good 1, minute, I was like, 2 minutes, nobody's coming out to take. What is this? What does
Did
it
it-
say about the
And
locker
didn't
room?
he come out like during a commercial break or something? He just jogged to the ring like nothing
Yeah.
happened. Yeah,
It's just to me, it was just really, really bad. Just really bad booking.
bad booking. Yeah.
And then the main event. If that's the type of thing you like, it's the type of thing you like. I can't say anything other than this is not pro wrestling. We've talked about what is pro wrestling. It is the performance of a fight. It is a performance. Nobody is saying that Will Ashtray and the United Empire, nobody's saying that they're bad. Nobody's saying that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are not talented athletes. They are. But they are not pro wrestlers. I'm sorry to tell you this. What they do is flashy and none of it makes sense. It's just play it like you spam moves over and over and over and over and over again. That's all. Like when you watched, everyone was raving about the United Empire versus the Young Buck, the Elite, right? Bro, I couldn't, I was like, I don't know what's going on in this match. It's just shit flying everywhere. And then, did you see the clip of, I can't remember who it was, like somebody like trying to hit Omega, punches, but like they were punching the mat basically. And like the camera angle was so bad, but it shouldn't even be about the camera angle. It should be about the fact that these guys can't throw a proper working punch. They don't know how to work.
There was this one thing that happened that I couldn't take the match seriously. I think it was Osprey or whoever from the Aussie Open wanted to jump from the ropes onto like splash onto the group of them, right? Outside the ring. And then like Kenny Omega was like looking up, and then he like wait, then he walked away. And then he looked at the camera, he's like, what? Do you think I'm just gonna stand there and wait?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to like outsmart the smart fan who thinks that he doesn't know how to work. But then my logic was, but you've been doing that your entire career. Only this match suddenly you want to say that, oh, this just doesn't make sense logically, I'm gonna walk away.
I feel like he's trying to be too smart in that, and he's also reached that level of douchedom. Like his douchiness is actually coming out into
Douchedom.
He's like, he's been hiding this douchiness, but now it's starting to show, especially when he's no longer the main attraction. When people realize, hey, there are actual big money drawing talented wrestlers, and we will, CM Punk alluded to all this in his press con. We'll talk about that in just a bit, right? But
who's the bigger douche right now, bro? Who's the bigger, Omega or CM Punk?
it seems like it's the Elite at this point. It seems like they are, they were the king of the indies. And then now when they have reached this level of, mainstream, money drawing, like when the stakes are high, they realize actually they are not that good. And then now they're upset.
I'm curious to know your thoughts, because I remember like a couple of weeks back, like when that CM Punk did that promo that like going into the business for himself.
Yeah.
Like you say like you felt like he like Punk is like he's the kind of guy that only cares about his kind of things.
Yep.
But after the press conference, did your thoughts or opinions change in any way?
No, it still seems like he's the kind of guy who is also doing business. So now what we have is two sides, both in for themselves, and nobody is doing it for the company. And you know why? Because nobody's rallying around the company, because the company has a weak leader. It was like when you had Vince McMahon there and people were not feeling it, you can tell. Right? There was a vibe. Now that Triple H is in charge, everyone's fire is relit because this is a guy we can respect and work for and put in great matches. Now, you look at AEW, it's so clear. There is nobody sort of commanding that respect out of them. So now you have everyone split into like different camps. We want to do what we want to do. These people want to do what they want to do. And then everyone's just saying whatever shit to the wrestling media.
Last time, all this was pure speculation.
Yeah.
But after watching the press conference, confirm plus chop, bro. Confirm plus chop.
It's just all out there. But okay. We will get to it a little bit later. I mean, that was my whole thing in the lead up to this match. Like the idea that logically, a lot of the booking at AEW right now does not make any sense. And the AEW faithful won't listen to reason about it. It's just, it is what it is lah. So it's sad. Let's jump. And here's the thing. This is coming from the guy who actually liked All Out more than Clash at the Castle. Okay. So I didn't watch 0 Hour, by the way. Next, what's up? Next says somehow 0 Hour was more entertaining than the main show. Did you watch 0 Hour?
I only managed to watch Kingston versus Ishii. very funnily enough,
Ah.
that match got 20 minutes.
Oh,
And
really?
okay, this might divide some opinions. I do not know. But I felt like this followed the vein of Gunther and Sheamus, where it was hard hitting. But I expected it to be stupid, Japanese strong style hard hitting. Somehow they made it work, in my opinion. Maybe you have to watch it to decide for yourself.
Yeah. I saw they aired a clip of it during the main show, and it was the clip where Eddie was chopping the shit out of Ishii and his chest was all red. And then Ishii hit him with one elbow and he stiffened up and fell down. So that's all I saw of that match. So I was like, it looked legit though. It looked cool. That one clip looked good, but I don't know about the rest of the match.
You know what? I think they hit almost as hard or even harder than Sheamus versus Gunther. That's all I would say. The crowd loved it. The crowd loved it. Well, I didn't watch the rest.
Okay, if they went hard and they, had something to prove, well, I'll have to go back and watch it. Fias Grinder, thank you so much for dropping by the chat, by the way. Fias says it was entertaining. Okay. Well, you guys have convinced me. I am actually interested to see Hook versus Angelo Parker. I want to see how Hook has progressed ever since they completely, forgot about Danhausen. I guess maybe Taz was stepping in. It's like, all right, you know what? Stop hanging around this boy. This boy not good for you. So his dad was like, you are not allowed to friend this weirdo. Then he went on his own.
Hook definitely showed more repertoire in this match. He actually sold, so that will be good. Actually, one thing that might surprise you, bro, if you take the time to watch back, Kip Sabian versus Pac wasn't half bad, bro.
I don't doubt that. Pac is a good performer. He has intensity. His shit looks good. He can afford to sell a little bit more, but that's just a minor thing.
But Kip Sabian actually held up his hand on the bargain. He's really good too.
So, Kip Sabian is the guy who was playing video games with Miro previously, right?
Yes, correct.
But now he's back with wearing a box on his head. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to that whole gimmick.
Yeah, so apparently the box on his head is so he hasn't wrestled for 500 days. He had an injury initially.
Yeah.
And I think it's all about the fact that he's just being forgotten. So he just something along the lines, never mind, you guys forget me, make me invisible. I just gotta wear a plastic bag over my head, kind of thing. Sure. But then he had sick gear. He was motivated. He looked like he got something to prove. If you remember very early on, the first ever match on the very first Double or Nothing, right, was Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian. And when I watched that match, right, both of them were green, but I actually thought that Kip Sabian had a higher upside than Sammy Guevara. But somehow their career went completely opposite paths.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So maybe Kip Sabian really feels like, I've got to prove something. So I think that translated to a good match.
Wow. Maybe the pre-show was better than the main show. But let's start with the main show. We have the Casino Ladder match. And here we go. This is the interesting, I had Jackie, who is a complete casual, right? And we watched together Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And here's the thing, we were at work, right? So the real life distractions are there, i.e. looking at her own computer, doing work, that kind of stuff. So we started with Claudio, Yuta, Penta. Okay, Yuta and Penta started the match. And immediately, you know what the first thing she said was?
What?
Wow, this look fake, huh? Because you know what they were doing? They're doing I punch you, you punch me, I chop you chop me, elbow. The forearm bullshit.
Rabak. Is it Penta? It's Penta's fault, right?
Penta and Yuta, both of them. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let her give me her comments.
Did Penta start doing all the Miero all the time?
No. He didn't. No, sorry. It was Yuta and Ray.
Yeah, Phoenix, right?
Phoenix, yeah. Freaking Rouge looked good, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rouge entrance, whatever he was wearing was dope.
Yeah. No, and what little offense we got to see of it was legit. So it's, once again,
maybe Rouge is the real good luchador that they have.
Look, I mean, all of them are out there immediately breaking ladders and weird shit already, because I guess they kind of have to get their shit in, because we know that this match, they knew that the ending was going to be a complete, right? Yeah. Bullshit, quote-unquote bullshit end.
They're trying to get their shit in before the ending, essentially.
Yeah, which made for just basically a bunch of chaos. And at some point, she was like, I don't know what is going on even. I don't understand the match. Why is it a ladder match? And why are they coming out at intervals? Which makes no sense, because you can win before anybody else comes out.
So basically, if you can't really explain this to a casual, then there's no point having a match.
Yep. No, it's logic. Like at the end of the day, have logic that makes sense, right? And this is like trying to have too many bells and whistles for the sake of having bells and whistles.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan because when I started watching it, like I knew there was a lot of nonsense. I was just waiting for the Joker.
The Dante Martin ladder botch. Where he jumps over the ladder, which is a cool spot, and then the ladder drop on him. He no-sold the ladder, bro!
Oh no!
Oh my god! Did you see that botch?
I didn't. There wasn't part of the play, was it?
So there was no. So he was supposed to jump over. Like two guys had a ladder and they were gonna swing it at him. He jumped over, looking very impressive. But there was another ladder in the ring, and it was tipping over, and it fell over, and then dropped on his head. And he no-sold it. I was like, bro, at least sell the ladder. Pretend like, oh fuck, no, it just boing on his head like nothing, and he continued his like hot start. I'm like, oh my god.
So not pain the ladder.
Apparently the ladder is made of nerve, because it probably hurt, but he was so like, oh, I have to have my hot start. He's so green, he didn't know how to sell it.
He didn't know how to react in that moment.
Yeah, so the ladder dropped on him. He like nothing like it. I'm like, wow, okay, so the ladders are made of nerve. And then there was
where we are.
Yeah, did you see when, okay, then they set up the ladder with one ladder across the ropes and like a A shape or something like that. And then the first question is like, why are they doing it? Look, it's, as a wrestling fan, we know it's to set up for a big spot later. But for a casual, it makes zero sense whatsoever. They are doing things for the sake of making cool shit happen.
Yeah, as opposed to like logically doing it, you know?
Yeah. Like, that's why I, like, in the Discord, I was like, this is a clusterfuck. I'm like, because none of this actually makes sense. They're just doing shit. If I wanted this, I would have played Rumbleverse, or I would have played a video game where shit just happens, right? Okay, is this because we have an ADD sort of I just want cool shit to happen audience, a younger audience?
Honestly, it's the wrestler's fault, what? Because I don't think the Tony Khan can actually control or like tell them what to do. They are letting the wrestlers like be creative on their own. My problem is they don't have agents to hold them back.
Yeah,
filter them.
Yeah, exactly. So you can have like what little I did see of Rouge. I'm like, there's a guy who could be a top star, but he's here, messing around with Yuta and Dante, and Andrade barely did anything. Oh, there was this one spot, I guess it was supposed to showcase Claudio's strength, right? So that funny, the A or Z shaped contraption, and then he lifts it up, remember? And then like Andrade falls off. Andrade legitimately looked scared because he was like, what the fuck? And he kind of couldn't because the pivot point on the mat was like wobbly. So Abre Gentes, one of the, I can't remember, was it Jose or one of the lackeys had to stand there and pretend to scold, but you can see his right hand is holding the ladder down to make sure it doesn't like...
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit for the sake of doing shit.
Yeah, it was nonsense. Like, that's why I said, like, the moment they started doing nonsense, right, I just kind of tuned out. I actually was looking forward to this because I wanted to see Claudio doing really, really well. Mm-hmm. But Claudio felt like an afterthought in the match.
No, he felt like he was just there to have fun with his friends. I guess nothing wrong if this is what you are into. But this is not wrestling. This is not pro wrestling. This is setups for cool shit. That's it. There's no tension here.
I think they forgot the point of Money in the Bank, what made them so successful.
Yeah.
There was stakes, right?
Yeah.
Every move that they made was in the intention of they wanted to climb up the ladder. People were rushing to climb up the ladder.
And not only that, they sold the damage. Like, when somebody goes through a ladder, they are dead for like half an hour or whatever the case may be. Here, it's like 5 minutes later, the fella is running around doing other shit.
Yeah.
It was
I remember that one time, there was, I think, WrestleMania 22, where they had Money in the Bank with Ric Flair. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And then Matt Hardy just did a superplex on Ric Flair off the ladder.
Yeah.
And when Ric Flair took the bump, he screamed, right? Like everyone was legitimately feared his safety because he's like 57, right? He's like, and he started rolling out the ring.
Bro, that moaning sounded a bit different, I don't know what kind of moaning that was.
Bro, my moaning plus the drilling in the background, I don't know. I hope nobody's watching this on loudspeaker.
Oh my god, I apologize, people. The construction is happening next door, so it sounds like I'm sitting inside a drill, for crying out loud. I hope it's not too loud for you guys, okay?
Manageable, it's fine.
That's why when people were like, oh, it was a disappointing end, I'm like, the ending probably more interesting than the rest of the match.
At least the ending, it brought some intrigue because you know it's going to carry on to the end of the event.
Because the rest of the match was meaningless, which is I guess the biggest disappointment of all. So okay, you have this masked group of people. I'm like, what? Retribution is back. Let's go. And
I saw the comments.
Yeah, and then it was Stokely Hathaway who retrieves the thing. Like, I was like, really? Okay.
Honestly, I'm surprised that there was even a pop because I actually didn't recognize who he was. I was like, who's this black guy? I thought it was Kidro Long.
Yeah, I think you know why, right? Because if it was a white guy, people would have guessed. I mean, if it was MJF, people would have guessed, oh, white guy MJF lah. They purposely threw in like a swerve, like, oh my god. And then, no, he's actually collecting it for somebody else. Which, you know, once again, makes everybody look like assholes. If they ever do this match again, just get all your friends to come out and fight lah. Alamak.
Do you see who are the rest of the masked wrestlers? I saw a couple of people that we haven't seen in a while.
Yes, so Ethan Page, Lee Moriarty, Colton and Austin Gunn, and W. Morrissey. And if you think about it, kudos to them, it all makes sense. Ethan Page is one of those guys that has been criminally unused. And remember, he had that whole episode where he looked at the mirror and said, fuck this place. I hate working here.
Yeah.
Sort of in the same vein as MJF. The whole I'm disgruntled, I'm talented, but I'm not getting a chance. Colton and Austin have been courted by Stokely Hathaway for the longest time already. So I guess it makes sense for him to be in this faction. The Pinnacle 2.0, I guess, is what we're going to call this. Lee Moriarty on a sort of like a lower end version, something like that. Huh? And Morrissey, like you said, Morrissey was a former heavy for MJF. So, you know, what sucks is that now it's quite clear his role. He's Wardlow 2.0.
But okay, in the hands of MJF, you know that he'll be a star. Because honestly, Wardlow has been amazing.
Yep.
Except for the time that he's not with MJF.
Yep. So, okay, fine. But it doesn't make sense that he's not coming in and gunning for the title straight away. Someone like his size, his look and everything, right? But it is what it is. So
he looks like a more jacked up age, bro. He's like 15 years younger. So come on, he got the looks, he got the size now.
He is a world title contender. If not, then at least TNT. I don't know lah. Maybe they will explain it on Wednesday. Okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But he comes out in the Joker mask. He purposely dances to, I don't know, make himself look different. But I'm pretty sure the whole internet was like, okay, that's MJF.
Yeah, but you know what? Cool mask.
Yeah,
it's not a stupid mask. It looks like a menacing. Like, oh, okay, this guy got danger, got something going on after this.
The devil, quote unquote. So you had that, right? Like I said, the ending probably... You know what it was? It was like all the CGI just to lead to that. It was like a Michael Bay Transformers movie. Just a bunch of explosions with no reason.
Great analogy there. Yeah. Anyway, we are spending too long on this casino match because there's 10 more matches.
Okay, yeah, that's true. We said this was going to be a 3-hour podcast, so hang in there. But the next match, okay, a lot of talking points here. We have the Elite versus Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order. I mean, look, the whole tournament itself was a joke to begin with. I'm sorry, but it's like you had... what was it? They're promoting the Rampage finals and then the Dynamite finals. I'm like, wow. So like, for example, if you have the World Cup and then your semi-finals, because semi-finals happening in this location, we call it the finals, but at that stadium. Is it
the
like
Asian finals, the Europe finals?
Like what? No, there's a finals and then there's the semi-finals. Don't come and try to bullshit with your like what shit lah, you know? And then it's quite clear the Rampage side of the brackets all jobber teams.
Yeah, Dark Order, I mean, sorry to say that they're definitely not as hot as they were 1 year ago. Even with the additional wrinkle of having Hangman in the match, we've already seen this. We've already seen the dissension between Hangman and the Elite.
I guess it's to play it off a little bit more. And we all know that they live in their own little world. Like, oh, being the Elite, we got history, we got storyline there. Meanwhile, the rest of the casuals have no idea what is going on. And okay, this was when Kenny Omega came out. I looked at Jackie. It's like, Kenny Omega, Roman Reigns, just look only who looks like a bigger star. I mean, is there any doubt? It's Roman Reigns.
Yeah, clearly.
Right. You know, You know what was the one constant during that match that Jackie kept bringing up?
What?
I don't know what's going on.
So it's the same from the first match also, right?
Yeah, and not only I don't know what is going on, after a while she stopped paying attention. She literally, like, I had it blasting loudly in the computer, in the room. You know, I was watching, then I noticed she's just doing her email. So,
First of all,
yeah.
it's unfair to compare Kenny Omega and Roman Reigns, right?
Sure.
Roman Reigns is conventionally a handsome, hot guy. You know what I mean? Kenny Omega looks like a chicopate sometimes.
Sometimes.
He's the one.
He's the one who wants to wrestle with sex dolls and like bringing in 14-year-old Japanese wrestlers. Okay.
I think the only thing nice about him is his ASMR voice, but other than that, he looks like a carny lah. That's like wrestling speak, right?
Yeah.
Like something off about the guy. So, very tough to put that guy as your world champion because a world champion, a leader needs to be a people person, and I don't think he necessarily is.
And not only is he not a lead, you can tell immediately after the match. I don't know if you caught this, but he looked at the camera and he's like, don't back up, come to me, to the cameraman. This is for you boys in the back. Try to follow that.
Oh, he said like that?
He said like that. I was like, wow, he's a douche.
Follow that?
Yeah.
Nothing to follow. It never even makes sense.
So he obviously thinks that he had a 10-star match already, ma. So he's like challenging. Maybe in his mind he's firing up the boys in the back, but honestly it sounds like a dick move.
Remember when he called the audience house cats?
Yeah, whatever. Shut up lah. He talk nonsense. Like this whole group, they are living in their own bubble. They are buying into their own hype. And they cannot stand the fact that they are not in the main event scene. That's why they created this whole trios title to begin with, so that they can have a little league with their friends and be champions.
No, okay, I get it. Okay, if I want to put myself in their shoes, devil's advocate, I would be bitter as well if I came into this company thinking that I was going to help shape this company, I was going to be an important role in this company, and then I get left behind, right? It sucks.
Yeah,
right?
but you see, there's the difference with people, adults who know how to make money and are self-aware. They know, like, you know, people who have more solid head on their shoulders, who will listen to the advice of the veterans in the locker room, and they'll be like, okay, they need to improve. I feel like they think that they don't need to improve, and everything they do is great.
They've never thought that what they did was wrong. They always say like, this is unique, this is my style.
Yeah, but the problem is they've only ever done it on the indies, where people are only seeing you once in a while at a live show, as opposed to weekly. And then now they're realizing they're not the big draws that, you know, they thought they were. They have people like CM Punk, Moxley, all coming in. Those are your legitimate draws, right? And now they're sour because, we are not the top guys.
Yeah, and like, somebody said like a great idea, like, you know what, put all of them in ROH.
Yeah.
Let them be ROH and make them their wonderland, you know, because I think AEW is definitely a viable alternative because they have actually proper stars in the company. Yeah. But you need to push the proper stars and the ones that have been anointed by the fans, like the fans that genuinely like the Acclaim, like FTR, like these people, like, they weren't a draw in WWE or they weren't a draw before that, but they got themselves organically over in this company. So let them run with it lah.
Yeah. So the match itself, and you know, it's a typical elite. That whole group match is like 10,000 things all happening at the same time with zero breath in between. Like you hit one move, get up, do the next move. It's like I've seen this 1,000 times, you know, and
it sucks because I like Johnny Hunky a lot. I like John Silver.
Johnny Hunky can be that guy that like Crash Holly, that
Likeable.
Hurricane, likable, and once in a while you push him like sort of upper mid card, even like, you know, Johnny Hungy versus whoever the heel champion is, and then like people are getting behind him because like, oh my god, he has a chance, but actually no chance lah. But you know, like, I see that being a thing, but it's never gonna happen when you're with this group who's basically only gonna do things their way.
Yeah, that's the point, right? I think they need to realize where they went wrong, or at least try to adapt to the situation, because I think bringing CM Punk changed the dynamic of that whole company, because before that, it was friend, everyone loved each other.
Yep.
But I think CM Punk was enough of a douche, enough of a disruptor that like,
Yep.
okay, shit, now time like cannot be. This is a competitive environment, so I don't mind CM Punk being a douche in this scenario.
Yeah, in a way, yes, he is there and he's shown Tony the way. Like, oh, we can actually draw big money here by doing things, not say the right, because there's no right way, right? But, doing things a certain way. So let's go towards that direction.
Who can deny that before CM Punk came, AEW was like this level, right?
Yeah.
But then after CM Punk came, it became like this level of legitimacy.
But bro, I've said this over and over again, right? The best, like, remember the weeks where I was praising AEW was when it was CM Punk, MJF, Bryan Danielson, those guys with the experience leading the charge. Yeah, there's every show has its shit in between, but at least this shit sandwich had good stuff front and back, right?
Yeah.
And then once the big main draw person left and, the trampoline boys are back to run the shit, it falls apart.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't put Moxley in that category. I think Moxley also has his flaws, has his issues, but more or less, I think in the right environment, Moxley would actually be a good wrestler, or like a good, there's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
It's only when he's too much creative freedom.
Yeah. Like we've always talked about, some people need creative freedom. Some people, you need to guide them. If not, they'll just anyhow do things, and that's Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
So that being said, this match, it was predictable. Not only was it predictable, it was not a good wrestling match.
Yeah, they won a trio championship. So what? I don't care who's gonna be challengers. I don't care about Adam Cole, blah blah blah.
Once again, don't get me wrong. They are athletic as hell. What it takes for them to do what they do, it takes a lot. But it's not telling a story, and we've seen them tell a story before. Remember?
Yeah.
They know how to do it. It's just that they found the cheat code, so they every time spam cheat code.
Yeah. They need to slow it down. I think I've met people like this where they don't think that they are wrong, or they're not open to feedback. If they did right, I tell you, Omega and CM Punk angle would have been great. You know?
No, like, it's a waste. I feel like it's a waste where people like Will Ospreay, like this entire group, you know that the potential is there, but then they just want to do things their way. They don't want to listen to the veterans, so it is what it is, lah.
Yeah.
And okay, are we moving? Let's move on from this.
Of course, we got so much more to
Because
cover.
we're going to move on to Jade Cargill versus Athena.
Actually, we can just move right past this one, lah.
Okay, very quickly. Jade Cargill is not ready. She bashed through the wall and Shockmaster. I think she tripped as well.
She tried to do a She-Hulk, right?
She did a Shockmaster, bro.
She did a Shockmaster.
She tripped, and then the outfit was classic She-Hulk. She did the green paint. She looked very dirty. It just looked weird, lah. Like, what the hell? Okay, we get that you want to be She-Hulk, but just dress. Don't have to go and paint half your body green. Whatever. Okay, that's her choice. The match was abysmal. It was the worst match of this weekend.
Okay, this was the worst women's match of this guy.
Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Honestly, they had no chemistry together.
No, zero chemistry. Athena was bumping like a mad woman for her. Like, bless Athena's soul and heart for trying to make Jade Cargill look good. But Jade Cargill was falling all over us. It was just sad. Great promo, great look, great presentation, just shit in the ring.
That's the problem, right? Like, I thought she was actually improving in the ring in the previous months, and like so far, I thought her matches, either that or they were hiding it really, really well.
Yeah.
But
Because they were short.
Somehow this match like exposed her in a weird way. Yeah?
Wow, like it made I don't know. After I watched this, I was like, wow, okay, all the shine that I had for Jade disappeared.
Left. Yeah.
And in the promo package, before she said bitch and it was censored, I giggled to myself. I'm like, wow, just a few months ago, she was saying bitch and shit, like, cut the shit, Tony, like, free and willy-nilly. Now bitch must censor. Yeah, okay, that's WBD coming down on them, huh? But this was pay-per-view, so why cannot say bitch? I'm surprised.
I mean, so clearly the one that was causing all the problems was this girl, lah.
That B show, cannot that B show. That B show. Really that B show. Look, Jade is slowly losing her luster because she's beaten a bunch of jobbers, right? The TBS championship kind of doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
She's beat Athena, and I love Athena. I love Ember Moon, but the way she's been portrayed also doesn't make her look good. She's come in, she's lost, she's on dark. You're not bringing her in as a star, and therefore you feed her to Jade. She's a jobber. I mean, I hate to say it, but she came in as a jobber, and now you've had her lose to Jade. She's even more of a jobber.
Yeah, it's tough watching this match. But the great thing is it was short, relatively. So I moved on very fast I actually completely forgot about this one. I think you reminded me. So now I have the heart pain a bit. But yeah, now, I moved on quite fast.
Looking at the match list, right? How good would this pay-per-view have been if it started from this match onwards? Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay, so is this your first time watching MCMG?
Yes. So here's the thing, right? I was like, shit, if they started the pay-per-view here and ended at CM Punk versus Jon Moxley, I'd be like, this is actually a good pay-per-view.
But
they didn't. I had to endure the Elite shit. I had to endure the Jade Cargill stuff. Oh, I guess the whole Joker thing wouldn't have played out the way it did.
Honestly, should have done the Joker thing during the kickoff. Honestly.
And then preview it, show clips of it during the show, and then I don't know, maybe they wanted to give it its moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Look, this was another trios match. I was begging for a one-on-one, but then the first one-on-one was Jade Cargill. So anyway, look.
Oh dear.
Kudos to Dax and Cash for trying to put on a wrestling match. After all the shit we saw, I'm like, oh my god, breath of fresh air. Actual wrestling where people sell, people look like they're getting hurt without actually hurting themselves,
They were tagging in and out, even though it was a six-man.
Yeah, my first time seeing Sabin and Shelly, I feel like if they're the type of wrestlers, if they go and wrestle the Elite, then they'll go and do all this flippy shit. But because they're wrestling Cash and Dax, their stuff was a little bit more grounded.
In Impact, they were the high flyers. They had this long rivalry with Beer Money. Have you heard of Beer Money before?
Yes, I have.
James Storm and what's his name? Bobby Roode.
Roode, right.
So they were really there was a time when actually Impact had one of the most deepest tag team roster in wrestling. And MCMG was, I would say, very modern Hardy Boys for what they were doing.
Yep.
So they haven't gone full on Young Bucks. They were in between So they still had some fundamentals
Yeah. Not much to say about this match because I enjoyed the hell out of this match. Yeah. Wardlow had his moment with the power bombs at the end. The problem here is ultimately it doesn't mean anything. Because the Motor City Machine Guns are gonna leave because they are Impact guys. Jay Lethal brought in, immediately lost. I wanted to see so much more of Jay Lethal because I've heard his reputation as being the stalwart of TNA, right? But the way he's been portrayed here in AEW, he's a jobber. And so Wardlow and FTR beat a jobber group. So it means nothing.
Yeah. Even the whole Samoa Joe coming at the end also felt like a angle that could have been done on TV.
Yeah, is it just me or did he even did he put on more weight? Has he
I don't know. I never really check out Samoa Joe.
So Samoa Joe comes and stops by once a month, is it? Or once every 2 months? What is his deal?
I don't know. But yeah, so he's back. Well, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. We know it's not going to lead to anything. That's the thing. I'm sick of Samoa Joe shows up. A few months ago, that would have meant something, and it did. But then he showed up, and then after that, disappeared for 10 million years, and now he showed back up again, and I'm like, well, I've seen this before. I'm not going to put much thought into this.
Samoa Joe is very close to the Puck problem.
Yeah. And Samoa Joe bled for no reason. Samoa Joe walked by Jon Moxley, so he started bleeding.
Oh dear God, that was a good one, man. Yeah,
he caught some of the Moxley pox. The Dax daughter stuff was quite cute. It was fun. Yeah,
and the use of her was okay. It was well done. Yeah, it wasn't too much.
It's just sad that Jay Lethal and his group are a bunch of jokes. Sanjay Dutt is a joke. a joke manager, like a low level,
like a Brandon Cutler like that.
yeah. And then you have this Satnam Singh who's damn tall but also useless. It's just sad. It just it means nothing because at the end of the day they mean nothing.
Maybe they had more of an opportunity if this was really an ROH show. I think this should have been on an ROH angle, and they have to like launch that show really quickly, lah.
Bro, this would have mean more if they all meant more. If Jay and the Motor City Machine Guns meant more, and there was more build. It's just bad booking.
Yeah.
You have
Bad
talented wrestlers with shitty booking. There
and
you
they
go.
just use them just because they're available, just to pop a crowd to the name value. Yeah, that's for sure.
Next match, another singles match. A lot of people say it was a bit of a letdown. I agree. Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks.
It went way shorter than I thought it would.
5 minutes, bro. Basically, they jobbed out Ricky Starks lah.
Honestly, wrong decision because I think Ricky Starks is the more over wrestler at this point.
Well, I mean, okay, the crowd was kind of on their hands for this as well. And, you know, there was a bit of a build, but honestly, the reason this sucked was because, well, the build was... It's the same as Billy Gunn and the build with the Acclaim, right? They weren't given a platform. They just did what they did with the time that they were given and the direction they were allowed to go in. They tried to make it work, but you had Hobbs with the second you include QT in any angle, you know the angle is dead.
Oh dear. Hobbs, right? When Hobbs won, right, it was so cold the reaction. The crowd never popped at all.
No, and because the match ended really fast. Were they overrunning? They were like, okay, and wrap up the match. Because like, oh, suddenly, Spinebuster, that's it. I was like, what?
Maybe, but it makes Ricky Stark look like shit. It makes him look like completely underneath Starks, Hobbs. And I think that's unfair because I think Ricky Stark should be a main event star. I think he should be where MJF is even sometimes.
Yes, but that whole match was just kind of flat because the build of it was flat. It was just flat, nothing but flat.
Yeah, so very sad now.
Yeah, and then we have Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. Okay, I liked 3 out of 4 of this match.
Okay, I get it. Completely get it.
Swerve, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, even Billy Gunn in the corner, even though it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Keith Lee, like, it's funny because, you know, in the post-event media scrum, he said something about like, oh yeah, you know, you haven't seen the best of me. It takes a special someone to bring the best out of me. Then I'm like, is that person Dominik Dijakovic? Because apparently the only person that you can look good against is Dominik Dijakovic.
No, maybe the best person out of him is Triple H, not necessarily Tony Khan.
I don't know what it is, but like he looked sluggish, and it was painful at points to see him in there, and all the more so because I remember him from his NXT days. Now I get that he's recovering from his whole, you know, life-threatening situation with COVID and whatnot, right? But like the match itself, whenever he was in there, just felt slow.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like NXT Keith Lee, but again, that could be his health issues. Maybe he really have to slow things down. But then you lose the thing that makes Keith Lee special because Keith Lee was this athletic hybrid heavyweight guy, right?
Yeah, and you can tell they're trying to sell it that he is, but he's visually not. Like he's
anymore.
Just going off of reputation and stuff like that. And
he's not as in shape as he was in NXT.
No. And then there was this one save he tried to make where he barely touched the guy's leg, right?
Yeah, and that was the one the crowd was so pissed off by, right?
Yeah, like wow. But how over are the Acclaim? Like the Scissor Me Daddy shit got over.
The chanting was damn funny.
Yeah.
Scissor?
What was it?
Oh, Scissor Me Daddy.
Oh, like, and the credit must go to Billy Gunn. Because it was the whole Gun Club and Acclaim sort of storyline that culminated in this. And it could have been so much more, given the proper build, given the proper exposure, but it is what it is, right? Now Billy is, you know, with the Acclaim, blah, blah, blah. You can tell, like, they are slowing things down a little bit. They're milking the crowd. They milked the injury. There was the whole story of... who is who already? The guy who's injured or injury prone, quote unquote. Is that Anthony Bowens?
Anthony Bowens, Anthony Bowens.
The guy who's like what was it like? The whole story, like, is he dragging the team down because he's always injured, injury prone, blah blah blah. So I love the way that they played that off.
And also, like Max Caster, I think proved that he doesn't just rap like John Cena. I think he got the strength of John Cena. He can carry Keith Lee.
Yeah.
This is the same problem as the Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns match lah. The wrong team won. Everyone wanted the Acclaim to win. They should just went with it.
Hey, maybe this means that in the future the Acclaim will get their shine. Here's the problem too. You have two face teams going up against each other.
The crowd chose who was the faces though at the end of the day.
Did you notice in the post-media scrum, one of the interviewers, the reporters asked, should you have made an audible hearing the crowd? And
that was funny.
Yeah, and then you can tell like Tony Khan didn't want to break kayfabe, which is surprising. Because he was
he probably thought the same thing too.
What?
He probably thought like, oh, you know what? Actually, maybe I should, but he didn't want to make himself paise in front of the champions. What?
Exactly.
He said something along the lines of, any questions pertaining to the match itself, you can ask at the end once the champions leave.
Yeah. Swerve in Our Glory is face, as far as I'm concerned, right?
They are face, but it's just that in this match, the hometown the Chicago crowd chose that one, the Acclaim.
The Acclaim, yeah. So, actually, they are probably better off as a heel team, to be honest. Swerve has that, DL face, and Keith can be like this overbearing because of the way he speaks. He speaks like, like very high, like haughty, So, I think it actually works better if they just turn heel on the Acclaim.
Let them turn heel. At least give them some sort of character. Right now, because they just Swerve in Our Glory.
What the hell? What is that? There's nothing. Right? Okay, let's move on then. Tony Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida. Honestly, I didn't hate this match. And also, any one of them would have been a better champion than Thunder Rosa at this point.
But when I saw Tony Storm's face come out, I knew she was going to win.
Why?
If you look at her face, right, she was a bit emotional already. So you can tell what. If you watch the entrance again, she was like almost on the verge of tears already. So I was thinking, that's interesting.
It's like she was told immediately before she left. It's like, okay, you're winning, huh? Like, whoa.
Yeah. Because I compared it to Drew McIntyre last night. Because when I saw Drew McIntyre come out of the entrance, he didn't look as pumped up as he should have been.
Oh no, because he knew that shenanigans was gonna happen.
Yeah, so next time, that's one tell you can try. Next time you see a championship match, right, you go see the faces of the challenger.
See how they look, huh? I mean, I like the story they tried to tell with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Like, is dissension coming, I think Jamie Hayter's time is due. Britt Baker, like, she was like the main champion for so long, right? And then they just sort of like left her aside for quite a while.
As if like maybe for them they thought like, she's really a made woman, don't need to put so much attention on her. Maybe. But Jamie Hayter was great. Was great, I think.
So I want to see moving forward, I want to see Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker sort of have a feud. Britt Baker needs to make Jamie Hayter. Hikaru Shida will move on to Dark and Elevation, probably.
Hikaru is Asuka at this point. She's just cold.
Yeah, she's just cold. She's just there because she's a former champion, right? And then we're going to see Tony versus Rosa. Apparently, Rosa, if you believe the tabloids, the cheat cannot work with Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. So that's the only other option you have.
So if you watch the post-crowd again, I keep referencing that. Tony made it sound like Rosa wasn't really injured and she was just like, if she says that she's injured, I guess when she comes back, then we can talk lah.
Okay, maybe that one she's playing it up because now they have to unify the titles at some point, right?
Could be, but I like how I love it when the reporters call out people's bullshit and they're like, you just made Moxley an interim champion. He's already said that he hates the word interim. So why you make a women's interim championship as well? How do you feel about the I word?
Then what did she say?
Then Tony say up front, Tony's Storm said to like Tony honestly, I hate that as well. But you can't do anything until the real champion is back. So once she win, when she come back, she loses to me, that can be the official champion.
Okay lah, they try to play it off lah. Okay, I will say this, right? Talking about the media scrum. There you go. The AEW media scrum is way more interesting than the WWE one. I'm sorry, but the WWE one was very boring.
The WWE one is still very
professional.
professional and pristine and
The only one that made me chuckle was acknowledge me.
At the beginning.
And then the poor guy's like, I acknowledge you. Like they put like their skates, which is perfect. It was perfect. And then Seth Rollins came out and he was like being all nice and jovial. I was like, okay, I don't know about that.
He was like trying to be in character. I think however he broke character, he just became a good guy.
Yeah.
But the Roman Reigns one, Roman Reigns was like, you got damn right, you do.
Yeah, and Gunther also was like being very nice. I was like, what? I wanted them to start scolding people. The ring is secret.
But I think for them, they are still new to this whole press conference game. Clearly, AEW is like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna talk shit in AEW.
Here's the thing: the press conference can be a way to bring color to your characters and advance storylines. You know, it can be. But now WWE is taking it too seriously. And AEW is like fucking Wild West. Anybody can say. Basically, you know what it is? It's the air grievances hour. Is what it is.
In a weird way, the best company that has been able to utilize press conferences well is actually New Japan.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. New Japan knows how to like have press conferences in character while still pushing the narrative forward.
Right. Let's move on then. Christian Cage.
Oh, no, another one.
Jungle Boy. Look, man. Look, like Luchasaurus comes out and turns on Jungle Boy, but he already turned. And like, is he the new Big Show? Is this a fuck up in the booking? Christian Cage was drunk when he came up with this. Like, he has to have had a say in this, right? Like, what is going on here? Or did they just overrun in time?
Luchasaurus has created the most elusive thing in pro wrestling, bro.
What?
A triple turn, bro. From babyface to heel to babyface to heel again.
At this point, I'm done with this feud. Like, as much as, you know, it has intrigued me, like Christian and Jungle Boy, even though Jungle Boy is just terrible when he does his promos because he sounds like a whiny bitch at this point, they should just turn him heel.
But you know, okay, I say the positives. I love Christian. Still asking the mom to call him. Thought that was great. They got a slap in the face at the beginning. And I think they ran over time. I think that's the only reason why. Or maybe I don't think. Okay, maybe this was the booking all along to shock the fans.
But how is it a shock when he already turned?
In the sense that like people was expecting a proper match and they ended it like this lah.
Yeah, no, Lucha is the new Big Show. I think Big Show had more time in between turns. This was literally within a few weeks. Heel face, and then they are going to defend it by saying, "Oh, he was playing Jungle Boy all along." I'm done. I'm done with this grudge match, quote unquote. I don't care anymore.
The singles matches up to this point was actually quite disappointing. Like Hobbs and Starks, this one as well.
Yeah, which is like a shame. Okay, then we have Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson, or Lionheart versus the American Dragon. Let's go. Okay, finally a singles match that picked up. Yeah,
a proper wrestling match. And I think we should credit Bryan Danielson more than Chris Jericho at this point in time.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, I as much as I love the guy as a performer, I feel like he needs to take a break and just disappear for a while so we can miss him.
Yeah, he's a bit overexposed, and I think...
Yeah.
I remember
You can tell he is one step slower.
Yeah. He said it in interviews before. He doesn't like to revisit the past. He's not a nostalgia person. But then he's brought back this Lionheart 2-3 times already. You know?
So, what are you trying to say?
Basically, he just goes back on his words lah. This guy. He suits what is, convenient for him at that point in time.
Exactly. He's just there to collect the money from Tony Khan. He's Tony Khan's best friend. I did not catch what he said with Tony Khan. I know he was at the press conference as well, but...
He did. So he's the opposite of CM Punk. CM Punk is his own guy, speaks his own mind, don't give a fuck whether Tony Khan is a boss.
Yeah.
He was just a pandering guy. He come back, hi everyone. He go, shake hand, He's the healer, mind you, but he's still acting like that.
You know why? He's been in the industry long enough. Like, he knows what gets him, what works for him, so he just goes with it. Whereas CM Punk's like, I'm just my own guy, fuck it, don't care. Not much to talk about in this match because it was a well-wrestled match. There was a story that was selling.
I realize if you like a match, you will have less to talk about.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm paying attention to it and not like trying to figure out what the fuck the problem is, right? He beats Bryan Danielson, and at this point, the both of them, they can take a loss. It didn't matter to me either way. what I didn't like was the fact that this was for Daniel Garcia's soul or whatever the fuck it is. Like, why are they fighting so hard for this boy?
He's not even that hot lah. I mean, if he was Terry Reynolds or what, I understand lah. You want to risk it all.
Yeah. Like, it made no sense. The motivation for the fight, like to impress some young boy.
I don't know lah, but I kind of didn't like Bryan Danielson losing. I just felt like after he lost to Daniel Garcia, then he would lose to Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho doesn't need a win. Like, Jericho is so old at this point in time.
Yeah.
And like, what does it serve,
But at the same time, Bryan Danielson doesn't need the win either. So, if anything, this is designed to progress the story where next week on Dynamite, apparently, Daniel Garcia is going to fight Wheeler Yuta again. This time, without the JAS in his corner. I'm like, okay.
So it becomes less of a Bryan Danielson story because of a JAS story lah.
Yeah, once again, this is a story I don't really care for, and it is what it is. It had a good match, out of it.
As a match, is probably my third favorite match of the night.
Yeah, but
my first is still, for some weird reason, I actually really like the Acclaim match a lot.
No, because the crowd lifted that match, let's move on then to the co-main event, kind of, maybe. And just imagine if this was the finals of the Trios Tag Team title tournament. But no, you had to just throw it in there like, okay, Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch. Miro suddenly, like, he was talking about joining them, and then now he turned on them, and then blah, 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 versus the House of Black.
Nice to see Miro in a good spot again. After so long.
I don't know what are the rumors about Malachi Black being like injured or his back is giving him troubles. Like, there have been several rumors, like his mental health, that's why he wants to quit, or his back. I don't know which is true, but what I can, I don't want to speculate on those things because those are all rumors. What we can speculate on, or not speculate, what we can comment on is the match. And the match was a good match. You had Darby Allin just throwing himself. Like, we talked about it, right? Like, he's a small guy, but everything he does looks legit. Because he throws his whole fucking body with reckless abandon. He don't care.
He's Rey Mysterio. I mean, he's Jeff Hardy, I guess, in a more modern version.
Yeah. And, I don't know what this means for his future. He might be, sustaining horrible injuries before he even turns 40 or 30 or whatever. How old is he now?
He's late 20s already.
Yeah, he might have to retire earlier. But I enjoyed the hell out of this match. And this was the first time I've enjoyed something the House of Black was involved in, because they finally have a spot to showcase.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it works is because I think House of Black needed to perform against people who actually can wrestle lah. Miro can wrestle.
Yeah.
I cannot say any bad things about Sting lah. Sting is he's 10, almost 20 years older than you, 30 years older than me, and he's still moving there very smoothly in the ring, bro. You gotta just respect his old uncle lah, bro.
Yeah, he's just going for it. And then Darby Allin is just throwing himself every which way for the rest of them. So I would have much rather this be the Trios title match, but it is not.
Do you like Buddy Matthews and Brody King in this match?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing horribly wrong with them. They, they came out, it looked cool. They did take a long time because they have the whole supernatural gimmick and all that bullshit. Yeah. But it's alright.
Yeah, and I think Malachi performed really, really well.
Yeah.
There wasn't any maybe there wasn't any promos by them. That's why it wasn't so bad. If they were rambling promos or things of that nature, it was just a straight up match. I know there was a vignette.
Yeah, there was a vignette before, which was very long and, it's the same old House of Black weird shit.
But if you just let them fight, let them do the wrestling, I think they will win fans over lah.
Yeah.
It wasn't shown on TV, but apparently in front of the audience, they actually, Malachi Black and House of Black, after they lost, right, they actually hugged at the top of the ramp, and Malachi kind of thanked the audience, bow.
Oh, so he is leaving or taking a break or something lah.
It seems like it the way he is predicting it.
Well, maybe the solution to his problems is Triple H.
Ooh, bro. Alistair Black again, what?
Aleister Black, Rusev, come on, man. Like, let's go. Yeah. And what happened to Darby Allin being one of the 4 pillars of AEW?
You know what? I think he still is. Like, as much as all the shit is going on around the world, right? He's still like steady, you know.
Yeah.
He's still performing to his expectation.
It's just he's not getting much of a shine anymore, lah. Can you imagine if this was the way he got a shine? He got the trios title.
Last year at All Out, he had a marquee match against CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that was his high point of his career in this last one.
Yeah, now he's just treading water because bloated roster lah, issues, huh? Okay, main event, here we go. CM Punk, Jon Moxley. I on the Discord was like, okay, how long till Mox starts bleeding? And lo and behold, it was CM Punk who was the first to bleed right off the bat. I mean, right off the bat, they started fighting into the crowd. I was like, okay, this was quick, this was fast.
It'll be a brawl going into the match. I was surprised that they were gonna try to make it like the opposite of the squash, like it was CM Punk squashing Moxley.
Yeah,
that would have divided the audience. I mean, it would have been a shock, but everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it would have been. I don't think it would have worked, lah. But it's fine. You know, he nails him with the go to sleep right off the top of the, right at the start of the match, right? And they actually dragged it out a little bit. Honestly, like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling the match, lah.
I felt like the match was hurt by all the hype and all the nonsense that it took for them to get to the match.
Yeah.
If they kept it simple, if they kept it like takeover, or like it was just promo, and in this match, I think that it will be a bit more of a big fight feel.
But I think because it's a different opponent, it's Moxley and he wants to do his outside brawling and all this other bullshit.
Maybe. So it's a bit hard to kind of like try to take it seriously, knowing everything that's going around or going along with the scenario. So I enjoyed the match for what it is. Like CM Punk, of course, had a hometown crowd.
Yeah.
But we've seen it before. Are you kind of like feeling stale on the CM Punk underdog babyface thing in AEW?
Even Chicago is. If you listen to the crowd, they are like CM Punk, Jon Moxley. Like they were chanting for the dueling chants. I was like, oh,
both of them, right?
Yeah, and there was an MJF chant as well.
They knew
lah, but it's like they are excited about that because that's the new fresh thing. Whereas CM Punk is getting a bit stale in the underdog in his hometown. Like we've seen this too many times already. Yeah.
So we can fast forward to the end. Well, Jon Moxley lost, so that was great.
It was clean.
Yeah, transitional champion. Or if you want to count the fact that he was interim champion, then maybe he was a couple of months champion.
Yeah, but I mean, he did beat CM Punk. You can call it a fluke, call it an injury, whatever lah. But he did give him that moment.
Will there be a rubber match then? Because 1-1 technically.
I'm not interested to see it, unfortunately, because the build wasn't even that strong, and I don't know what it is. But to me, Jon Moxley is just not a compelling babyface. Like I don't relate to him. Maybe it's just a me thing. But do you relate? Like, do you feel like, oh yeah, you really want to see Jon Moxley? I don't.
Because when Punk did the press conference, he said that he and Mox have a lot of things in common, right? I did feel a lot of sympathy towards Moxley at the start of AEW, like when he was the first defection from WWE to AEW. I felt like he was a big deal at that point in time.
Yeah.
But I think it just got diluted over time.
Yep.
He just started receding his hair, so he doesn't look as handsome as he was.
It all has to do with the hairline. Well, and then, we talked about this, right? There's this whole indie bullshit. Like, isn't he going to fight Nick Gage again?
Yeah, one more time.
Oh.
So like, there's so much shit going on his side. So like, can't really take him seriously.
Yeah.
But then, why CM Punk when he fought against Eddie Kingston, there was so much cheat? Why did that feel so compelling? But with Moxley, it doesn't feel as compelling.
Because Moxley is not a great promo. Honestly, like when he rambles, like that's why to me, like when he did the promo where he threw down the open contract, I was like, that's probably the best promo he's done in a long time.
Kept it short and sweet, right?
Yeah, but other promos, like I feel like I almost dislike him because he comes across like a dick sometimes.
But he was being a dick in this rivalry, and I thought like it was perfect for him. I think he should have just been a heel all the way, man.
Yeah,
just be as a heel.
Yeah. Mox screwed Mox, says Irvin. Look, at the end of the day, this was all to lead up to the winner of the
Casino.
the stupid cheap whatever the fuck that thing is.
Casino ladder match.
Yeah, casino ladder match. The number one contender making his big reveal. Oh, it's MJ, and then they played the little promo package. Oh, there's the other thing. The lights going out, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, if they didn't do the lights going out already with the House of Black, then that would have been like a moment. But no, they already kinda did it. Once again, this goes back to the whole like you need to spread your shit out. To be fair, it wasn't like, oh, there were a lot of like chairs and tables. They just kind of kept it to that ladder match. Thank God, the rest of it was more or less like wrestling.
Yeah, the match, once the match ended and like the lights went down, everybody knew that the Joker was gonna come out.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing that I chuckled, right? The moment that thing happened, I was like, oh, you know what? I can't wait to hear what Young thinks about it.
What?
The Tony Khan voicemail, bro.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, fine. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm willing to forgive it because I know that it is the setup for something great, right?
Tony Khan just had to put his voice somewhere in the pay-per-view they can hear his name, lah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'm gonna pay you amount of money to just come to know. I'm like, oh god, they had to put his stupid voice inside, right? But it was fine, you know. And then they showed the clip of CM Punk talking about like being the devil and blah blah blah, that kind of shit. So, I feel like things are looking up as well for AEW because the main event scene is looking up, and the way really, you know, the way they structured this pay per view, if you just skip the first hour, can already, it would have been perfect.
Bro. The best part of it, right, was when, like, you know, he took off the mask, you could see the head shape, but then the moment he put his scarf, the crowd hype. But then, right, bro, the moment the music played, I thought it was Long Island, man, but Chicago popped like, it was one of the biggest pops of the year.
Well, because he's over. MJF is over. And they apparently have not forgotten about him, which is, you know, kudos to them. You know, I thought they would have, like, after so long, his heat would have gone, but apparently not, lah. So, there you go.
CM Punk is back and with MJF. So, I guess, you know, MJF versus CM Punk over the title, I think it's a great title feud leading into the...
Absolutely. Yeah. Then there's the post-event media scrum. Okay. So...
Oh my god, yes.
Is it just me or does CM Punk sound completely different when he's just like talking? His voice sounds so low.
I thought his voice was distorted because of the mic. He doesn't sound like that normally.
Yeah, I thought there was something wrong with my YouTube feed or something. Then I realized, wait a minute, everyone else sounds normal except for him. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I don't know where it started because I started watching it late. I had to watch Worlds Collide first, but he started talking about like some EVPs and shitting on Dave Meltzer, right?
Yep. Hangman Page as well.
So, okay, he shat on the EVPs and Hangman Page for what? Just bringing up the whole Colt Cabana thing. And he shat on Colt Cabana as well.
Okay, what happened was one of the... he shat on one of the reporters. So the reporter actually asked the question. The reporter asked him up front, like, what's your comments on your relationship with Colt Cabana right now? There's some rumors that saying that you are the one that caused him to get his job fired or get to move to ROH.
Yeah.
So of course, CM Punk just came back from a match, he's tired, rested, and suddenly the first thing he have to address this thing.
Yeah, then he fucked them up,
You went on a fucking rant. I think that triggered him because he said like, you know what? I haven't fucking talked to that guy I don't consider him a friend since 2008. I haven't talked to him since 2013, 2014, that whole Colt Cabana podcast. I have moved on with my life. I have nothing to do with this guy. And you assholes keep bringing his name out and put it with me. You know, and he said, I apologize that this is the forum that I have to clear the air. But if you guys want like a fucking answer to this situation, then he like set the record straight lah. Yeah. He damn funny, you know, the way he fucked up Colt Cabana, I laughed my ass off. Because apparently, he said Colt Cabana shares a bank account with his mom.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. And then you see Tony Khan like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. I can't control this guy.
Yeah, like, you know, Tony Khan actually apologized, like, you know, I should have taken that question instead of CM Punk.
Yeah.
But CM Punk is like, no.
I want to clear the air, right? The people that pushed the rumor the most was Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is, Sean Ross Sapp, David, Brian Alvarez all was in the room.
Yeah,
so he fucked them up. He was like, you got something to say, Dave? You know, I got a fucking problem with you.
Oh my god, that's best. I love it. CM Punk earned my respect there. And then he shat on the EVPs who are doing nothing, who don't want to listen to advice, right? And he brought that whole thing up, and it kind of gives credence to the rumors that we've been hearing for the longest time already, that whole elite camp, they are in their own little world. And then he brought up the fact that they have like Arn Anderson, they have veterans in there, right? And if you don't want to listen to them, that's why you guys, don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, and I think what he confirmed in that press conference was the fact that it was the EVPs who leaked the story about the whole Colt Cabana treatment. So he was pissed off with Hangman Page because Hangman Page basically went to business for himself. He said why would you screw up the biggest pay-per-view of the year with the top babyface by wanting to go into business with yourself and trying to, in his mind, defend his friend Colt Cabana. And then he said, I've defended him more times than you've ever done. I know I've defended him more times than you ever will. And like, if you consider him a friend, then whatever lah. But you don't fucking ruin the main event. You're being fucking unprofessional. So if you are unprofessional to me, I have to give you a receipt lah. So he essentially confirmed that he called him out as a receipt. And remember when I read the article about him saying that he doesn't take advice from the seniors. Like, bro, Hangman Page had so much potential, and the reason why he sucks, that has been proven already lah. Why?
And here's the thing. I bet you a lot of it is because he, throws in his lot with the elite. So he's probably listening to Nick and Matt Jackson and Kenny Omega, right? And
of course, there's his boys, or they're the one that push him to the top of the card, what?
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you are in that situation where there are veterans there, sure, you have friends, but won't you want to go and, like, it turns out this cowboy really has no fucking backbone.
He really has deep thoughts that he damn emo lah.
So all of them lah. So, and it's no surprise that now all of a sudden the rumor is there's backstage heat, and Irvin just updated us like they are threatening to quit because of CM Punk. Like, oh my god, gee, I wonder why. Because he called them out on their bullshit. Finally, somebody called them out on their bullshit.
Yeah, because Jim Cornette is not there to call them out in person, so CM Punk have to be the one. My funny opinion was the fact that the elite he called out the elite saying that, you guys could have controlled this, but instead you're the one that is leaking it to the public, talking shit about me and Colt Cabana. So like, these elite people, they're like Hulk Hogan lah. They want to keep their power,
Yeah, because they realize they cannot get to that next level doing what they do, and they don't want. See, that's the thing. It's not like they can't work. We've seen them work before. It's just they like to do things the way they are doing it. And they are upset that somebody else is getting the, top billing and the draw and all that kind of stuff. CM Punk had nothing but nice things to say about Adam Cole. So thank goodness Adam Cole is not like lumped into this whole situation. With the elite.
He said he was worried about Adam Cole's health, so that's actually a bit scary. So like okay, the thing, CM Punk, I know he's a divisive figure and character. And maybe his opinions is also with his own thinking in mind, like I want to cover my own backside kind of thing. But I've never seen CM Punk lie before. You know what I mean?
Like he's just exactly right. Like, look, he's no saint. He's not like, oh, I'm doing this for the good of the company and the business, blah, blah, blah. He's obviously doing it for himself, but also he's not dumb enough to be like he's not deluded like the Young Bucks and Omega are. There's a difference, right? Like, he's self-aware, but he's willing to stand up and say it. He doesn't care about being nice to people. He'll just say it. He's self-aware. Whereas the elite, this group, it's more and more obvious they are just wrapped up in their own little bubble and, kissing their own asses lah, and their fans are kissing their ass lah.
Okay, if I want to use a Attitude Era analogy, right, I think CM Punk is like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Bryan Danielson is like The Rock. So like the Rock is just the nicest guy just by nature, but he don't take bullshit from anyone. But he's just gonna be nice and professional no matter what. Even like when Shawn Michaels make fun of him or bully him, right? But like, can you imagine Stone Cold trying to follow the line? I think Stone Cold, if you got problems, he will fuck him up right in the face. You know.
So then my question is, who is the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, or are they a completely new entity?
They are D-Generation X lah. They are Shawn Michaels. They are triple.
Actually,
in terms of talent.
No.
They're politicking.
You think so? Like, Triple H, for all his politicking, and we know he has a reputation for politicking, right? Like, I don't think he was that unself-aware. Like, I feel like Triple H is self-aware. Shawn Michaels is self-aware. He just went down the bad road of drugs and alcohol and substance abuse.
Shock sendiri
like I feel like this elite group, it has to do with this millennial. Oh my god.
It's a generational thing.
It's a generational thing. It's a millennial mindset. It's a chip on the shoulder thing. But like next, I kind of agree, like they're kind of like the clique almost. Like they go into business for themselves. Kevin Nash, not so much Scott Hall. Scott Hall was just along for the ride, right? But like, the really backstage politicking, like
was Nash, right?
It was Nash, but even then, like, at least Nash brought mainstream money, like Hogan, right? They brought mainstream money to WCW. So I can't even compare them. Because the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are not bringing mainstream money and eyeballs to the product.
I mean, they did in the gaming scene or community, but again, it's very niche. And of course, like Japanese people, they just accept anyone. They are just weird. But I love Japan, so I'm nothing against them. What I'm saying is, like, you can't expect like a weirdo antisocial guy to be the leader or the spearhead of a revolution.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The guy that made it work, honestly, was Cody Rhodes.
Now that we look back on it, it's kind of crazy, right? He went in there, he tried to do something, but then he was probably the first to realize, hey, this elite, they are in a world of their own, so we better fuck off before they drag me down.
Honestly, the elite threatening to leave AEW, don't you think it will make AEW better?
Yeah, 100%. They should leave. Like, if they, say, this is on Tony Khan. If Tony Khan had a set of balls and a brain, he'd be like, okay, we all go, and AEW would be so much better for it.
But if they leave, where do they go? Because WWE is not going to take them.
No, I don't care. They go back to the indies where they can be king. Because that's what they want. They want to be king. They want to be the top dogs. But okay, then you go back and be the top dogs of the indie scene. Go New Japan, do your thing. And I guarantee you, if they start pulling this shit in New Japan, they will also be like, fuck you we don't need you.
They already burned their bridges with New Japan when they left to create AEW.
So there you go.
Yeah, so AEW actually was supposed to be where they became king. But then when Tony Khan got the real king, they're like, we're just pretenders all along.
Yeah. And here's the thing, once again, it's not like they're bad wrestlers or not athletic. They can do it. There have been some matches in New Japan and whatnot. Remember, we watched the one match where they actually sell and they, so that it's a mindset thing and they refuse to change it. And that's what it is.
I think people who are not self-aware, they can't humble themselves down and be open to listen to people. Those people will never succeed. They will never go anywhere in life because they will forever think that they're the victim, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll be like, and then their defenders will be the type of people who sort of hold that mindset as well. And without getting into a whole mindset sort of argument and whatnot, right? But I feel like a lot of it is like, they had the momentum because, oh my God, the drilling! Tony Khan, stop it! Tony Khan's trying to silence me. People...
Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. Foreign's here. We'll help you.
You see, what was my point? My point is like, they had that anti-establishment vibe going in, starting AEW. We are going to treat the indie talents, the people you love, right, blah, 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 right? And then now that all that is gone, because Triple H is in charge, and he's going to bring in his Johnny Garganos and whatever. And now... Tony Khan is in the position where he has a CM Punk, and you can't make the argument that they're two different entities already. No, now they're both playing sort of in that same arena of this is sports entertainment, let's go, right?
Yep.
And so now more and more Omega and the Bucks are becoming less and less relevant.
Yeah, like if they want to keep their niche, right, as a part of the show, I think it's fine. Like, okay, I just want to do this part of the show, this is my thing, right? I still think that, okay, fine, we can give you this spot. But if they want to make that the overall culture and get angry if other people don't agree with them, then of course they will get ousted.
Yep. So the funny thing is, like, people got so upset with the backstage politicking of the Clique and Triple H and stuff like that. Now look at how the tables have turned. Triple H is celebrated as the savior of the WWE. The Young Bucks and Omega, now all the real stuff about their backstage politicking is coming out. So it's like, wow, okay, this is a far better drama than anything anybody can write.
Bro, this is what's gonna bring back wrestling fans, bro. Not the wrestling, the drama behind the wrestling fans.
Yeah, exactly, Irvin. There's no enemy that these quote-unquote indie fans can rally against anymore because now WWE is, they don't have the evil corporation vibe because Vince is gone. I don't know how long they can last with that, after a while.
I trust Triple H because I think Triple H has always shown throughout his career he's a very level-headed guy. Of course, when he was going up, he had to have the reign of terror. He needed to solidify his power, but now he's the undisputed guy, right? I think now he's giving back in a way that it's like The Rock lah. My favorite thing, right? Maybe to wrap up the podcast. Did you see this very nice thread about the Attitude Era 20 years later? The story has been wrapped up.
Yes, yeah.
All the main characters have gone to the sunset and retired and done their own thing.
Yeah. And then Vince got fired finally.
Vince finally got fired.
Yeah, because he was always the evil boss, right? And then he finally got fired.
Stone Cold finally rode into the sunset, opened his own beer company, which is funny.
Yeah,
right? Hilarious.
The Rock became a movie star.
And then what they call it? Kane became a mayor. Undertaker is like really resting in peace now. Mankind is like having a nice day.
Yeah.
That's sweet lah.
Okay. All that aside, look, there's no doubt that AEW has a stacked roster, and now with CM Punk and MJF back again as the main storyline, just hide all this trampoline Cirque du Soleil wrestling away, like put it on Rampage, let them have their trios thing, and let me enjoy the rest. I think we are in for some good times.
And over on WWE side, you got Triple H leading the charge. You got Roman Reigns, you got Drew McIntyre, you got the women's division coming back. Gunther there. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. We say that every week, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, the past couple of weeks, not really, but yes, now things are starting to pick up, and I'm actually very interested in this backstage. Honestly, if the Elite quit AEW, it might be the best thing for AEW at this point. Yes, they were instrumental in starting the whole thing, but sometimes, if you stick around long enough, you become the villain of the story.
Kenny Omega, Young Bucks. WWE bound. Let's go.
Oh, no. I think Triple H is smart enough to see all this, and then Cody is probably like, this is a bad idea. Do not bring them here.
It's gonna be damn funny if that really happened. You know what? Those who haven't watched the media scrum, like after this podcast, please take some time and watch it and decide for yourself whether CM Punk is really the asshole that everyone thinks, or he is asshole with a reason.
No. He's definitely an asshole, but he's an asshole with a reason. He's an asshole I can get behind. That sounds very weird. I'm sorry, but. Irvin says there's a video of security running behind the scenes to stop the fight. Well, shit, I'm gonna go and log on and
stop the fight. Who's fighting who?
CM Punk and the Elite lah. Young Bucks fought Punk.
They literally fought.
Are you serious?
Hey bro, Irvin, send the
link.
YouTube link to the Discord. Okay guys,
yes.
There is a promotion to follow us on Discord, bro.
Alvin's the man. He if you have the links, please send it through. I can't wait to see this. Hey, maybe next week we can review the fight.
Okay, can we review it? We do a commentary again on the fight.
The question is Nikki Gall there? Mickey Gall.
Hey, Irvin, try to send it on our Instagram, Kick to the Gut Instagram, or to the rest of us in the Discord lah.
Yeah. Once we find the link though, we'll share it on Discord or whatever. But anyway, guys, that will have to do it for today's podcast. I told you it would be a 3-hour deal with so much to talk about, and we thank you so much for being here as always. Come check out the Discord if you haven't already. It's in the description, the link that is. Also, we have a Patreon page if you want to take your support for the podcast one step further. You can pledge whatever is comfortable to you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for those people who are still on the podcast, staying with us all 3 hours.
Yeah, man.
Or whoever it is that you had to go in and out. Like, I hope you guys listen back on the replay and enjoy it. Listen to our commentary because that was a crazy night. Or crazy last weekend of pro wrestling. I need to take a breather.
Yeah.
We'll check back next week.
Absolutely. In the meantime, as always, if you haven't already, hit like and hit follow on the podcast on the live stream, okay? All right, we're going to get the heck out of here. We'll see you again soon, once again on the Discord. And if not next week, I'm sure there'll be more things. Bro, the fallout from the bash after All Out. Let's go. Yeah. I can't wait to see more. Okay, as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Have a great week ahead.
Kick to the gut. I like it.